Hey, 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 we're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. All right, let's see what we got. Here we are. And we'll grab this. There we go. Here's this. We're going to say Hot Breaks, free Pokemon cards, Destined, Rivals Box Battle, and more. Live shop. All right. Was it safe? Okay. Getting some work before the stream there done. Okay, let's see. Who was the first person here? Mr. Robert was the first person in the stream. What's up, Robert? Or at least he was the first one to talk. We're live for Tuesday night. Welcome, guys. It's the late night stream, and I'm pretty much perfectly on time. We are. I could have started earlier, but again, I was working on things. Got some important shipping things done. Okay. All right, let me message this guy. There we go. I have a guy shipping, and he's from like almost 2 years ago, it seems. And there's an international shipment. And instead of letting it go into being too old, I'm trying to get it all corrected. Let's see. But I don't think his bag was necessarily 2 years old, but I suspect his slab might have been 2 years old. So the question is if the slab's still around. Here's John Lucas. Let's go extra deep because I'm having a lot of fun. Ooh. Big order right off the bat with Mr. John Lucas. We also got Mr. Jonathan Cham slabs ready to go. All right. All right. Look at that Rayquaza VMAX, huh? That's an interesting one. Damon Smallwood, January 2022. Number 256. That's an abandoned slab. Back then, that wouldn't have been worth this much. I don't know why he left it. Maybe he just didn't want it. There's a couple other slabs. Ta-da. All right. We got to start putting slabs aside that are going to be for the 100,000 subscriber special. Abandoned? Yeah. Well, back then, the Rayquaza VMAX wasn't that much. He wasn't even really the main chase of the set. The Umbreon was. And you could buy him PSA 10 for like $250. But obviously, he's not cheap either. He's not like free. But yeah, I mean, it sat down there for a pretty long time. That you saw the title on the back of the label. It said 2022. It's like 3 years. I don't know. So it's sitting over there. All right, here's Cerulege, Glaceon doing the Glizzy. Here's Typhlosion. He's going away. Wow, what a nice card, man. This card's so nice. All right. Closing all this up. Turning my volume down. Welcome, guys. It's Tuesday night, and I'm your host, Mr. Cardconomist. How are you guys? I got a really, really good workout today. I did something new. So I was talking to AI, because apparently I do that a lot. And I was talking to it about how I could get a better workout, but still enjoy walking. And it gave me a really obvious and very good answer. It said, get a backpack and fill it full of weights. So I did that today. I put, it was like just 12 pounds. It wasn't that much. Oh my God, it kicked my ass so hard. We have this trail we hike in the state park, and it's this, you start out at like the bottom where the water runs, and you walk this really far distance uphill. So it's a really tough uphill climb. I mean, there's like warning signs. Don't climb this hill because you're going to pass out, and we don't have ambulances for you. And just having that extra 12 pounds made my legs burn so much. So there you go. Now I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be adding more weight. I think next time it's going to be 24 pounds. And yeah, it's weird. I only needed about a half hour and my legs were tired. That's what people in the military do. They have that for your ankles. Oh, really? They have weighted vests and ankle weights. Yeah, I might have to do that. Still enjoy walking? Yeah, seems reasonable. Exactly. Let's see. All right. So let's trim this down a little bit now. John Lucas with the huge order tonight, guys. Ankle weights, too. Oh, we on time today. Yeah, I'm a little bit on time, huh? Yeah, so I did that for the first time. I'd never done that before. And it's sort of like if you were climbing stairs, but you had to carry like a box of Pokemon cards up the whole time. So if you got an uphill climb that lasts like, the uphill climb lasts about, I want to say about 15 minutes. There's two rough parts of the climb. There's a steep descent and then a slow ascent. And it's like up the side of a cliff, basically. It takes a while to get to the top, and it'll totally kick your butt if you're not ready for it. But I've been doing it for a while, so I'm pretty comfortable. But just adding that 12 pounds, it's like I could feel the burn, you know what I mean? So it was really good. And so next time I'm gonna bring two weights and carry them in my hands, not on my back, and just see how that goes. I already know how it's gonna go. It's gonna kick my ass. You can make that Anatomy Park $35. All right, here goes, guys. Anatomy Park, different price, $35. Here it is. All right. I'm having a problem with the commission slabs. There's too many requests to send slabs in. I don't think I can handle that many. And so there's two ways I can look at it. We can prioritize people that want store credit, or we can slightly change the commission from 73 to 70. But yeah, I got like 6 people asking right now to send in slabs, and it's quite a lot. I'm surprised by the feedback on it. It's very popular to be able to just liquidate your slabs casually without as much effort through the table. And yeah, it's a curious thing. Oops, let me close this. I live in the Netherlands. It's all flat here. Well, I live in Lake of the Ozarks, and we have some really beautiful hills in Missouri. They're not quite mountains, but they get really steep, actually. And yeah, that's actually why I had the flooding problem at the other house. You guys know I'm spending $1,500 repairing a flood problem at my other home. And the reason that that's needed is just because there's so many hills out here. They're really steep hills. That's what caused the Lake of the Ozarks to become a lake when they created the dam. And because the hills form a lake. Really neat. All right, so let's get John Lucas's boxes. Maybe only 10 gem mints to say, Vic. I don't mind taking all kinds of slabs. All right, I like Mr. John. This guy goes deep. I like him a lot. He gives us some entertainment, man. The only thing I miss about living in France is the damn nature and mountains, not the people. Oh, very interesting. I'm trying to make a very difficult decision where to move. It's hard to make the decision because it's not bad where we're living. Every time we feel like we're ready to move, we take a drive outside and it's just so pretty. And it's like, oh man, this place is already pretty nice. We've already lived in Missouri most of our lives. And, you know, it's like sinking sand. You get older and you don't want to pack everything up and try something new. You're like, well, we're already settled here. Ooh, it looks like I got to get more sleeves. I got to get more sleeves like right now, actually. I'm completely out of sleeves. Let me go get more sleeves, guys. It's beautiful out here. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, if Lake of the Ozarks had more people and it had more amenities, we'd just be staying. We'd just be staying. No reason to leave. All right. But you know, Missouri's not a no-state income tax state. So I might as well just move to Reno or something. seems like the move. Tough to do that kind of stuff, guys. The incentive to do that's tough. Much easier to stay. All right. So you lived in France. What was France like? Tell us what France was like. Was everyone there like, ballerina cappuccina, me, 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 me? Were they all like that? I only seen Ozark from the series Ozark. Indeed, it's nice. Very pretty. My house is on the other side of the state park. It's very, very pretty. Big cliffs, huge, huge hills, fresh spring water that comes out of the ground under a gigantic cliff. People driving by on their Sea-Doos and their fancy yacht boats. It's pretty neat. But after that, after summer ends, what do? I don't know. One thing Karis and I have talked about doing is buying a nice house in a place like St. Louis and just designing both houses to have the Pokemon card operation. And then once or twice per year, when the weather's bad, we move the entire operation to St. Louis. And then when the weather's good, we move the entire operation to Lake of the Ozarks. So 2 homes, and we just drive between them. And so that's kind of an interesting idea. Only problem is I think there's an inherent risk to constantly moving the cards. And we have some pretty hard to move stuff like the encapsulator. The encapsulator is very hard to move. So maybe he would have to stay in one place. All right, it's probably pretty important to keep an eye on the lake houses because ice damage and flooding and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, so we got that all set up. 7 booster boxes, Sneaker Bunko Volume 2. Let's get you some signatures and some sexy ladies. Let's do it, Mr. John. Here goes, guys. I grew up in Minden, Nevada, 35 minutes from Reno and 25 from Tahoe. It's gorgeous and very scenic. Yeah, I mean, I shop the homes out there, and they're very pretty and very expensive for good ones. Tells me there's a lot of people that want to live there. I think that, you know, these states that have no state taxes are going to be reorganized into being some of the best places to live in the country, not because they have pristine beaches, although Florida does have pristine beaches, not because of the beaches, but because so many people want to be financially free. That's it. They want to be financially free. So anyone who's a remote worker, if you're living in like West Virginia, for some reason you're a remote worker, and you got to pay taxes to live in West Virginia, you're going to say, what the frick am I doing here? I'm out of here. But same with like coders in California paying, you know, like top taxes because they're top earners. They're going to say, you know, that neighborhood in Reno, Nevada is really not that bad. And I keep like 13% of my income if I go there. Maybe I go to Nevada. So you're going to see a lot of that, I think, over time. It's just a rational move. It doesn't have to do anything with like this state versus that state. Oh, our mountains are better. It's nothing like that. It's just financial. Here it is. It would be interesting if California came out and said that they were lowering their state taxes to be like 6% or something like that, to be much more competitive with the other states. If California did that, I would be rushing to get into California. I would be scrambling. But I feel like they're more likely to raise their taxes. They are? Let's see. I was living in one of the mouses to volunteer. It was hard and mainly work people came from everywhere off the world, and homeless France, they got work, food, and roof, and my French sucks. Homeless France. So I think what you're saying is you had to work very hard to live in a rough way, whereas you watched people who were living off of like welfare and taxes, they were just getting things for free, and you felt like that was unfair. I can understand that. I think that's very normal to feel like that setup is unfair. Here it is. All right. I think it's possible to be too nice. It's sort of like being gullible or being naive. Gullible or naive. So somebody who gives all their stuff away thinking they're helping the other person, but the other person's really just ripping you off because they know that you're gullible enough to think you're a do-gooder. It's like, oh, look at this do-gooder over here. Let's get his stuff. So I think that there's a limit. I don't know what that limit is. And I think there's a lot of people who just need help who are just sincere. Here we are. All right. Let's no way to easily distinguish the two groups, I guess. All right. Lord of knife attacks in France. France, UK, they got knife attacks. Sweden has a lot of problems with gang violence, don't they? Sweden was one of the safest places to live in Europe, and now it's one of the riskier places to live in Europe because of gang violence. Who are we talking about? We're talking about France. Mr. Bald, just Bald, was saying he lived there for a while, and he had some unsavory experiences that made him want to maybe get back out of France. Here it is. All right. I'm sure France is very cool. I don't want to beat up on France too much. They're a major world power, and they're all sophisticated. They got culture. They got cuisine. They got beautiful architecture. So I don't like beating up too much on France, but yeah, it's fascinating to hear about local problems and, you know, maybe modern problems like we give too much money away, stuff like that, right? That's a very modern problem, giving too much money away. And actually, it kind of ties into what I was saying about California. So California has a very high tax rate for the state, and they have that high tax rate presumably because they kind of give a lot of that money away. I'm assuming they give it away, but it keeps somebody like me from going, I'll move to California. It makes me go, well, there's Nevada. 0 state income taxes, low property taxes. Why don't I just go there? That just makes more sense. Here it is. But I bet you Nevada isn't as nice to their homeless. And so the homeless say, I'm not sticking around in Nevada. I'm going to California way. And so it's weird. The more help you hand out, the more of the people who need the help you get. They begin to flock to you. They begin to immigrate to you. So they immigrate out of Nevada and into California because California's got all the free stuff. And then you got to pay for it. So it's an interesting, you know, this is a phenomenon that's occurring across the whole world. Any country with lots of free stuff, everyone's immigrating to it. They're like, I got to get in there, man. I got to get in there. I got to get in there. They got the free stuff. Okay, here's Hollow. And here's the doggies, Riff. And here's a Hollow. Ooh. Okay. The city was an absolute fairy tale. Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah, I've seen those French chateaus. There's a type of video I like to watch where it'll be like a young couple buys a old chateau that's like decrepit and kind of in disarray. They'll buy it for a cheap price, and then they'll record themselves like fixing the house up, making it proper again, and those are so fun. So they got a lot of beautiful castles and chateaus and a lot of history. It's very cool. A lot of our cuisine could be called French cuisine. Cuisine. Me. Depends on village girl, no city girl, maybe. Depends on village girl, no city girl. Huh. What? Do French women not shave bald? Oh, I see what you're saying. City girl versus village girl. Funny. All right. Put this over here. It is strange that we shave, isn't it? It's a bit strange. All right. You're sexy now because you're all shaved. Remove that hair. It's gross. All right. A lot of French Pokemon collectors. Sure. Well, again, France is a major world economy, so there ought to be. Actually, it's kind of curious that you don't get Pokemon cards printed in like French and German. French and German, you'd think that would be a thing. Like, we get English, obviously. But I think English is probably... Think about it. You got America, Canada, Australia, others. Am I missing anything? Obviously, the UK, Ireland. Am I missing any? I don't think I'm missing any. I'm technically New Zealand. But that's a lot of English. And maybe that's a sign that the English language won. Like, I'm speaking it. I'm speaking it. I'm not speaking German. I'm not speaking the Deutsch. I'm speaking English. All right, next box. Lots of booty busters in France. What? Like hairy pits. What do you guys think? Hairy pits on girls or non-hairy pits? I'm of the non-hairy pits persuasion. It's just too much like a man. A man has hairy pits. But, you know, it's a weird saying, isn't it? Because, you know, women grow armpit hair. It's just normal for them to grow armpit hair. But I don't know. It's like a mustache for your armpit. There it is. It's hard to say. Ooh, must have done something there. Tonight I made chicken drumsticks. I was experimenting with chicken drumsticks. And at the same time, I made sort of a beef stew kind of beef. It was really good. It was not quite a beef stew. It was like halfway a beef stew, halfway a stir fry. And we had that with the little sourdough bread. And then the chicken legs turned out okay. Did you notice it's really hard to get like grocery store chicken legs and to make them taste really good? That's really hard to do. For years, I have always known that you could buy those super cheap, bring them home, cook them like in a way that you think is correct, and then much later, they're still gross. So I cooked them tonight. I baked them in the oven on an air rack, and, you know, so that the air goes under them. And I seasoned them up a ton, and I let them cook at a really high temperature for a pretty decently long time. So they were thoroughly cooked. Still kind of like weird and greasy, and I don't know. There's just something wrong with those chicken legs. Is that why they're so cheap? What's the trick to those? Are there lots of incels in France and dads that are bums? I worked 10 years ago for a family that buys these lots and then restores them. Learned a lot of construction there. France to way other part. We actually worked 7 morning till 12, then open wine. Wow, that's cool, man. 7 in the morning till 12 and then had wine, huh? That's nice. All right. Yeah, that's cool, man. If I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't doing Pokemon cards, I think restoring old buildings definitely would rank very high for me. I'd love to do something like that. I'd love to have like an old castle that's just all dirty, needs some like repairs. And I have to like learn how to repair it, you know what I mean? That'd be so cool. Here's a holo. It's like Minecraft in real life. Full 5 hours of work. 5 hours. All right, guys, it's been a long day. 5 hours. Let's go have some wine. Here we go. I thought you were saying 12 at night. That's how it felt in my family. That's how it felt. I was from a big family of 11 kids. That's what we did. You woke up, you did your homework, your homeschool homework, which was nothing. And then you had like all this work to do involving the kitchen. Cooking for 13 people was a big chore. And then you had screaming babies who needed constant diaper changes. And then you had this whole wood small business. So you had tons of work to do there. Dad would come home. He'd leave at 6 a.m. He'd come home at like 4 p.m. roughly. And he'd kick all of his clothing off. All of his nice suit would come off. And he'd go down into his work clothing. And then he'd just go outside and work till like 12 a.m. That was it. All right. We're going to keep going. What we got? We got this guy. Whoa. Sounds like fun. Friggin' screaming babies. Oh, I mean, it was nice to go out and work in the garage. The garage, you can't hear the kids crying anymore. Quiet out there. Saws going off, but quiet in a certain way. Because the saws are white noise. Your ears get used to it. Your ears get used to the white noise. And then it's just a buzz. And so in a way, it's quiet. It's a certain type of quiet. Here we are. Chopping wood. Listing wood on eBay. You would list while standing up. That's how it worked. You had this big fat camera because, you know, it was like early 2000, right? You had a big fat camera and you would take a picture of the wood. Then you would upload it to a fat little laptop, because old laptops, and you'd stand there and you'd type on the keyboard to create the listing. And then we had like this big bucket of wax. You would wax the wood to make sure that it couldn't crack later, so that it was in the same condition it was when you listed it, right? Because wood does that. Wood dries out and it cracks. So it wouldn't be waxed when you take a picture because you want it to look good. Then after you take the picture and you upload it, you wax it up. It's a type of wax you use to keep wood from cracking. And we'd label it, put it on a big shelf full of wood, and then move on to the next piece. And if you didn't have a good piece to list on eBay, you had big giant lumber or scrap pieces that you would chop down into craft wood, see? So you could spend 4 or 5 hours a day turning raw material into craft wood, like 6x6x4 blank, right? And then you could spend hours just sitting there listing on eBay. It was a whole operation where you just do that all day long. Very cool. Thank you for fulfilling my order earlier. Saw the replay and got a few of my favorites. Nice, man. We had that one farmer come by on my day off, 10 in the morning, drank a full bottle of Rocky in 1 hour, and then said I'd go work, stepped into his car and drove off. I was like, WTF. He drank a full bottle of, like, what, alcohol? And then he just drove off in his car like it was normal. He was drinking and driving. Oh, no, dude. You go. Europeans, they consume the most alcohol, apparently. I think that's true. I don't know why. I just love alcohol. We are. I question sometimes the wisdom about, this is the whole, what do they call that? When the mothers drink alcohol and they're pregnant, what do they call that? Fetal alcohol syndrome, and you're not supposed to drink while you're pregnant and all that, right? And that's been pretty much the stern message for alcoholics, for drinkers. You know, you can't drink when you're pregnant. And I wonder about that, because how many generations didn't know that was a problem and drank alcohol anyways? Because we've been drinking alcohol since we figured out alcohol, which was like back in the Roman days. We figured, well, before then, obviously, but I mean, they've been drinking it for that long. And to think that humans are still drinking it today, I wonder, you know, if alcohol fetal syndrome is a real thing, or if that's just a normal birth defect or something, you know. Well, anyways, that's just some conspiracy theory. I think I was reading an actual Harvard medical journal, and they were talking about how they have a new study out that says they're less confident about alcohol's role in birth defect, because the typical, the standard belief is that it's always very damaging, and now they're questioning if it really is. Because humans have just been drinking alcohol for so long. Here it is. I don't drink, like at all. Yeah, I don't drink any alcohol. Kirst drinks a little bit. She doesn't drink very much either. So we don't drink much. And it's not really a problem that affects us at all. But I just wonder, it's like, if humans have been drinking so long, how many humans were born with the mom who was drinking alcohol? It had to have been a lot, right? It had to have been a ton. All right, I prefer the green. Alcohol doesn't make you happy. It just numbs the depression for a day. Sure. Well, I don't drink any alcohol. I drink zero. There you go. I'll tell you what numbs my depression. Pokemon cards. Ooh. Just one more hit, man. Yeah, I'm not much of a drinker. We are. Okay. Friggin' screaming babies. Yeah, friggin' screaming babies. So, it's been an Anthony Kalura sale on his slabs. He's got his slabs cheaper right now. If you are interested in his slabs, I've marked them down. You can see them. There you go. It's too culturally accepted. Well, the Germans have like their Biergartens. Oh, Biergarten. They go and they drink a whole bunch of beer, apparently. Here it is. And weirdly enough, they outlive Americans too, you know? So it shows you that the bigger impact wasn't the alcohol. The bigger impact was probably whether you were fit or whether you're exposed to other types of chemicals. I don't know. But Germans, on average, in Germany, outlive Americans in America. Maybe it's a healthcare thing too. It's hard to say. All right. Surrounding myself with different friends make me drink less. Here it is. All right. Ooh. Okay. Can I get any one slab for free? Yeah, let's get you some free ones. Here we are. Me. That's funny, man. 6 says no. 6 is so mean. All right, I was going to give you a free one, but then 6 said no. I got to do what 6 says. All right. Here's a hollow. And oops. Tonight, I watched another James Bond movie. We finished it off. It was called Moonraker. James Bond Moonraker with Roger Moore. The movie apparently was made in response to the critical success of Star Wars. A lot of people at the time, after Star Wars were so successful, a lot of companies started making sci-fi style movies and music because, you know, that was the fad. Everyone wanted Star Wars. Everyone wanted more Star Wars. So that's why James Bond was made to go to space. He was in space for Moonraker. Here it is. I actually liked it. I thought it was decent, besides some of the cheesy parts. But the bad guy was maybe the first time that the James Bond bad guy seemed kind of creepy and evil. It's like the first time. Because the majority of the time, the bad guy in James Bond, they're all, they're a bit strange. They're hard to believe, many of them. They're pretty hard to believe. This guy was kind of a creepy mother effer. He was kind of believable. Here we are. All right. Woo. Come on, man. Where's the signatures? I'm scared for John Lucas. If we don't start pulling signatures, you might as well open the rest of the case, Mr. John, because you've certainly pulled out plenty of the cold boxes. All right. Tossing this. Anyways, the plot for Moonraker is the bad guy. He wants to train up a bunch of hot people to be launched into space, and then he's working on a doomsday device. So after everyone's up in space, he gonna like kill everyone on Earth and then send all the beautiful people back down to repopulate the Earth. That's the plot. I don't know if that's spoilers. Is that spoilers? There it is. I thought the movie was pretty good because the end of the movie was a big twist. You had, well, not a twist, but it was like a satisfying story arc for a particular character. The Jaws character, he's this really tall guy. He's like 7 feet tall, and he's got metal teeth. His name is Jaws. He's a classic James Bond villain. He's like indefeatable. He's super strong. Nothing kills him. Uh-oh, he's coming at you. You can't get away. Anyways, he's working for this bad guy, the space guy, the genetic supremacist guy, whatever he is. And there was this really great story arc where James Bond keeps questioning the bad guy's, grand philosophy. And Jaws is right there, and he looks kind of like a crazy troll, right? Jaws, he's just not born right. He just doesn't look normal. But, the bad guy who's a mastermind type, he keeps going on about, we're going to have perfect specimens. They're going to be so beautiful. They'll be the best. And Jaws flips from being a bad guy to a good guy because he's listening to this speech and then realizing, wait a second. He's talking about me. I'm the, I'm the no good, ugly, inferior, I'm not part of this master plan for the best looking people. So it was a really satisfying moment because the Jaws character was always so terrifying. And he flips so suddenly. But it was when he heard the bad guy's philosophy and he said, wait a second, that philosophy is pretty bad. So that character ends up having a happy ending too. It's really funny, actually. He's a good James Bond villain, very watchable. All right, so he's like a James Bond henchman. Very good henchman. Memorable. I'm broke till tomorrow night. No! Here we are. If you haven't watched it, go watch it though. It's so funny. The main love interest in James Bond Moonraker looks and sounds like Leia from Star Wars. And my wife and I both noticed this. So when we looked up the fun facts, the trivia for the movie, that's when we learned they made it as a response to Star Wars. And the main character's love interest was specifically chosen because she looked and sounded like Princess Leia. It was so ridiculous. There were like space battles. There were like astronauts in space shooting freaking lasers at each other. It was pretty funny. We are. All right. James always gets the ladies IFBL remember right. These boxes are painful to watch. They're painful, but that's because the heat's just around the corner. That's why. The heat's just around the corner. I know they are. That's how these work. We are. All right. Ready? Any gym breaks going on? Yes, sir. We got gym breaks. We'll add new gym breaks to the table, too, if you want. Ooh. All right. So that was it. That was James Bond Moonraker. We're on to the next one. It's called... what's it called? For Your Eyes Only. For Your Eyes Only. That's the name of the next movie. And we just started it. We didn't watch very much of it. Snipping this. Those movies are kind of hard to watch, man. They're made a really long time ago. They're not very good in a lot of ways. And yet, they're kind of entertaining if you watch them sort of like as a time period spectacle, sort of for the humor of it. Then they're fun. I liked Sean Connery better than Roger Moore. Sean Connery had more of a devilish personality. Signatures, please. Hell yeah, here goes. All right. All right. Here's the bride outfit card. Looks great. Does it? Yes, this is the bride with the normal sized breasts. Oops. Okay. All right. Is there a signature guaranteed in the case? Yeah, actually, there should be more than one signature. There should be like 3 of them, maybe. So, yeah. I'm expecting John Lucas might open more of these. Here we are. Here we are. What are these? Waifu packs? These are waifu packs. Yep, yeah, that's exactly what they are. They are actually waifu packs, and they're very popular, and if you pull the right one, it goes for a lot of money. So you can collect a really valuable one. Ta-da! Putting that here. For British eyes only. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. That's it. Was that all 7? That's it. Chasing signatures. Dangerous pastime. Dangerous pastime. Mr. John Lucas, my thoughts on this is that there's probably a signature pretty close by. It is? All right. Put this here. Put this here. My opinion would be you might as well buy the rest of the case if you've sniped so many of the cold boxes. Holy. Sneaker Bunko Volume 2. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab this. Hope he's watching. Are you watching? What time did you order this? 6 hours ago? Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. When we're done watching all of the James Bond films, we're gonna watch Austin Powers. I'd never really watched the old James Bond movies. I'd never watched them, especially not in full. I'd seen pieces. So now that I've watched a lot of them, I would say I'm really impressed with how close Austin Powers was to the actual source material. I thought Austin Powers, a lot of the ideas were original. They're not original. They really are just copy and paste from the actual movies, and it's very funny. Okay, here's John Lucas over here. Okay. So let's see what we got going on. Time to start taking these back down. We got Annihilate. These are going to rotate. You're going to get a chance to buy them, and then we're going to start taking them down, okay? Umbreon. For Alligator. And here's Slack Off. Okay. Ivan Rodriguez, Blue Label Zard 9. That one is sold. That one is sold. Sorry about that. He's already gone. There's a lot of good slabs up here, though, Mr. Ivan Rodriguez. Let's see. So you had $3 there. So 18 plus 3 makes 21. Got $21, Mr. Ivan. Doop. Okay. And now we have an order for him. I'll jump over here. We're going to jump over here and grab Gilberto Cedillo. Prob 1 Japanese whole box Mista. A whole box? Prob 1? You got it. Proposition 1. I'm going to go get it. right, here I am. Whew. Yo, mister, pit bulls are back in the news. Which one did he order? The Japanese one? Oh, okay. So I'm basically out of these. What do I have left? I think I need to mark these as sold out. PRB1 Japanese. Here it is. It's off the menu now. Now, there are a couple packs left. There you go. Ready? Hope everyone's doing okay. Yes, thank you for asking. Ooh, look at that. Getting back over here, Gilberto Cedillo. Ready? Nice. Nice. And snipping this. Probably a manga. TCC, do you still have the Star Wars packs with the prequel cards? With the prequel cards? You mean like the Star Wars Topps Chrome Galaxy? That's still in the menu. Star Wars Topps Chrome. Those are really good. I thought that was a very good card set. We just didn't open it as much as I would have liked. Here we are. I've been thinking about opening it myself and just grading it all. Okay. Very nice. How many packs are in the box? Ooh. That's why I thought you sent English ones. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you sent for 2 boxes is what you did. Here we are. Good catch, Mr. Gilberto. So you have $70 left over. Here we are. I was confused whether it was English or whether it was Japanese. That's why they were both on the table there. I didn't get it. Here we are. All right. Very nice. You're noticing that there's probably 10 packs here. That's the same thing I'm noticing. Here's this. Ooh. We've got this full art. Very good. And I do have some leftover packs if you'd like to open those with the store credit, because I am otherwise out of these. Here's this girl, Yamata Katana. Ooh. If I had money, I'd collect One Piece as well, but I keep it with Pokemon. When you can, what gym battles you got going on? Yeah, the gym battles are pretty popular, I guess. All right. There's this one. There's also one that's about ready to go. It's the Weedle one. Here it is. Weedle. Somebody's actually in the Weedle. He's $29, so they're waiting for you to join. All right. Can you just do the rest in English? $70 of English. You got it. Okay. Oh, we got this girl. Haha. Konnichiwa. Okay. I think my favorite old James Bond movie so far is definitely still You Only Live Twice. That movie was just so full of like really weird elements. Like them trying to turn him into a Chinese man or Asian man or whatever. It's just so freaking weird. Really, really weird. And clearly because they didn't, they're not very sensitive about that kind of stuff back then. So $18, how many times does 18 go into 70, huh? Let's see. 70 divided by 18. 3.8. Let's just get you 4 packs then, shall we? 4 packs. Oh, we got 3 right here. Well, I might actually need that box that I had that in the box with me, and I tossed it to the side, and now I actually need it. That's so funny. I wasn't anticipating that. Okay. Fine. Ow. That hurt. Do you still have the Eagly Buff? I still have the Eagly Buff. $39. All right. How do you pay income tax? Oh, it's horrible, Roy. When the company makes a profit, the Carddass company, we have to pay taxes on the profit. Then the leftover money is considered income for the employee, Mr. Derek, that's me. So I get taxed because I made an income. So I get taxed twice. There's so little left after 2 taxes. Oh, it's so sad. You'd think I'd be getting super rich, but it's like, it's just absurd, the amount that they take. Then I got to pay state taxes. Thank you for paying your federal income tax. Now, pay your state tax. Wow, that's a giant chunk of money. Then you pay your property tax. You own a home. You got to pay taxes on that home. Then you got to pay tax because you own a vehicle. Oh, you have a vehicle and it's not a piece of crap? You got to pay taxes on that. I already paid taxes for it when I bought it. It's mine now. Crazy. You are. Although the vehicle one I understand a little bit because of the roads. But I don't know. The property tax one's ridiculous. That one always bothers me. All right, what we got? The property tax one is nuts. I think I know why the property tax exists. It's because there's people who want to tax other people who have really nice big homes. That's it. That's the point of it. It's a sort of progressive tax. You guys see that guy? And he's got a $40 million home? Let's go get taxes from him. It is, but the principle of it really bothers me. Okay, here we go. That's a full art. This one's a full art. That's why you got to pay yourself a small salary and then buy everything in your business's name. Yes, I do something kind of like that. So I take a smaller salary and I do not buy too much stuff for myself. Or, like I don't go on fancy vacations or anything. Instead, what I do, that money gets rolled back over and into new inventory. And then that inventory is going up in price over time. So that's acting as sort of like my investment vehicle at the same time. So I'm doing fine, but man, it's the taxing is just not right, man. It just feels wrong. I feel robbed. I feel robbed by the government. Here we are. The government doesn't do any of this. They feel like a mafia, dude. I feel like I've got the mafia telling me, all right, now pay up. That's some good money you made there. Too bad it ain't yours. Pay up. Jesus. But then I look out at other countries and it's so much worse. And then I start singing America, because the taxes are so low over here compared to a place like France. It's like, thank God I'm not in Europe right now. It's not just France. It's Germany's really a big offender too. Holy smokes, I'm glad I'm not over there. There'd be no way to build wealth. You'd just be giving it all away, essentially. So, if I was living in Europe, I'd be trying to figure out how do I get into the United States or into the UAE or just into one of these places that treat you right. I'll be out of here. All right. It's like the government's just been like, they've figured out that people will just pay those taxes. They're just, you'll pay this, right? Yeah, I'll pay it. Yeah. Give me your lunch money. Yeah, it's like, give me your lunch money. Exactly. It's like, give me your lunch money. It's very frustrating. It's not, if you're young and you don't have a lot of stuff in life yet, you probably feel like you're sick of hearing about all the rich people with all their money and all the taxes they have to pay. They're like, yeah, screw you and your money, and you should be taxed and everything should be free. I know you feel this way because that's how I felt when I was younger. I was like, screw the rich and their money and their blah, 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 blah. I was so mad about it. I should get free college. Other people should just pay for things for me. That was essentially how I felt. But now I'm older and I'm actually working, like actually clock in and work now. So my feelings have changed a bit more, It's like, okay, now I work really hard. The thing I have took a while to build. I'm getting the benefits of my labor and now give most of that labor to the government. It's like, come on, dude, what? The progressive tax rate's very annoying, and the idea that a small business has to be taxed twice is annoying. It's just really frustrating. Okay, you got a little box here. Anyways, that's my rant. You guys have heard that rant before. I'm not Jeff Bezos. I don't make money like Warren Buffett, okay? But the government takes plenty from me. They take lots, actually. They take a ton. You might even argue that maybe somebody like Warren Buffett pays less tax, pays a lower tax rate, if most of his money is just income from, dividends, because dividends are taxed differently. I'm trying to find out how to make more room over here. I think we could make more room by moving this thing over here. You can see we could probably make more room if we moved an NHCC box too. All right, there we go. Gilbert Cedillo, you are on the left side of me. Thank you so much. We have an order. Carlton Wicks, 20 to slab away. 1 Pokey Shuffle. That's Carlton Wicks, everybody. Well, nobody's contributed anything to the Pokey Pot in a while, I noticed. Excuse me. You want the Eagly Buff? He's a good one. $39 is really low for a PSA 10. That's very fair. $40 is nothing. And he's from the year 2000. That's a vintage card. That's like Neo. 2000. That's Neo era. If that was Neo Iggly Buff, it'd be like $75. There's your Pokey Shuffle. That's Carlton Wicks. Sorry, Carlton. Just a common. Let's go find your slab away. Wasn't his money just mainly from other big investors where he got a percentage off of them investing? Yeah, he's a money manager. That's his job. He's a money manager. So you go to him and you say, I'm going to give you my money, and I want you to magically turn it into more money. And so that's what he does, and he's decent at it. He's pretty good at it. He had a theory on how to do it, and it worked out for him. He's almost as good as Nancy Pelosi, but not quite. Nancy's better. She makes a better return than Warren Buffett. Because she's a financial genius. But also Congresswoman. And definitely not an insider trader. Here's Rena Fulbright. 2 Electric Breaker, 2 Japanese Battle Partners, 2 Crimson Haze, 1 Fortnite Pack. You got it. They were talking about that in the government the other day. I was listening to them talk about it. All right. Let's see. The insider trading problem. Grabbing these 2. They remove $450 to $500 on my pay. I'm paid every 2 weeks. They take your money, you're a hardworking man, they take it out of your wallet, and they give it to all these other people, and then they don't appreciate you or the role you play in society, I promise you. Hardworking men are probably the part of the society that is least cared about. Here's 2 Electric Breaker, 2 Battle Partners. Anyways, that's the way I see it. You could convince me otherwise, but I don't think... I think mostly we just talk crap on men, right? Men just get talked dookie on. You're supposed to be the most valuable person in society because you have an income. But nowadays, the government can just take your income away and give it to other people, so you're not so valuable anymore. They go, we don't need you. You can go. That's also why there's so much divorce. Because girls don't value men the same way anymore. They say, I don't need you. I have daddy government. Daddy government will give me your money and TCC's money and all these other guys' money. That's it. Here's 2 Crimson Haze. So your value as a man has been changed. You still have to work, but no one needs you anymore. You go to work and they don't need you either. Because they'll just take the money right out of your paycheck. All right. Ta-da. Just sent for the Eagly Buff. Don't worry, Umbreon fan helped me. Lol. Happy wife, happy life. Oh, that's very nice. Set that over there. Okay. The U.S. won't let that happen. Simon. Welcome to the Joe Rogan Late Night Show. Welcome to my alpha male podcast. We eat steak off of cutting boards. Snip. Hi, I saw you from across the room. I couldn't help but notice that you were giving off signals that you wanted a high-value male. Well, congratulations, you found him. I'm 5'9", and I have a 3-figure income annually. That puts me in the top 1% of males in the world, worldwide. No, this is one of those subjects that I've thought a lot about. It's one of those things. The world, the ordering of society fundamentally changed when you making money was not that valuable to anyone anymore because the government can just snatch your money away and give it to someone else. Here we are. All right. Now people can look at you and be like, I don't even like you. They can call you a problem. Oh, you're a problem. Men are a problem. We don't like men. All right, well, nice. Ta-da. I went to college. I heard all that crap when I was in college. I heard all the ideas. There was a lot of that stuff on campus. Tons of it. Miss Rena. Did you guys go to college? If you go to college, they'll teach you all those things. Let's see. We're looking for the REs. I guess you'd probably be in the RA box. All right. These are all saying Sarah Dusenberry. That's all Sarah Dusenberry. Better say Sarah on this. Because if she shipped today, I wouldn't know that was hers. Ta-da! I'm just disappointed. People don't understand what a tariff is. Let's see. RE must be over here. Here we are. Ah, found you. Ta-da! On my second year of homeschool, now getting my bachelor's. Second year of homeschool. There we go. All right. Let's rotate the cards. We've got Ty Lee. She's rotated a lot. She's coming down. Master Ball Umbreon. He hasn't rotated that much. Eevee is ready to come down probably, though. We got Execute. We've got Gengar. Gengar's ready to come down. Here it is. We got Execute again. We've got Persian. That one's a tough sell, you know, because it's an expensive 9. Cheap 9s are easy, but when 9s are like a good card, but therefore expensive, they can be much harder to move. We got row of cards. Pokemon is forever. Ivan Rodriguez, Dark Ariados. It's in the May channel. Picture. Okay, thank you so much. Dark Ariados is sold then. Mr. Ivan loves making me sweat for these. If I recall, Ariados is in a tag slab or something of the sorts. And there he is. I found him right on the top. That's nice. Convenient. All right. I don't want to discourage you from using those shop channels because that's why they exist. All right. There we go. Just having a problem. I got too many slabs, I think. Got too many. Oops. All right. All yours, man. We got Open University here, and you can study for cheap. You only pay for the study points and books. Nice, dude. I like to hear that. Here's Martin Ramirez, 3 Sneaker Bunkos. All right, Sneaker Bunkos. 3 Sneaky Bunkos. Oh, I guess we need a new box. All right, so give me a moment, guys. I'm going to go grab a fresh box of Sneaker Bunko. Stick around. Oh, the giveaway. Here it is. That's a free $110 slab I'm handing out. Let me go ahead and set this up, okay? Give me a moment. Going to hit refresh here. Zoom out. All right, there you go. It's set up. Type in TCC to be part of the giveaway. All right. I'm back. Whew. Boop. Who's going to get that lovely poker card for free? Try this. All right. Q3. So weird. I feel like it already did have an open box of this. Why don't I see it? All right. That's 3 packs of Sneaker Bunko for our friend Martin Ramirez. Sneep. Got some sneeps, got some deeps. All right. There's a girl. Here's holographic, and holographic. How you guys doing tonight? How was your Tuesday night? What were you guys up to? Probably work, probably normal stuff. Ooh. Okay. Mr. Martin Ramirez. Lovely. Work. Can't be going to work. All right. I'm going to quickly move this back here and take a picture. Just woke up to get ready to work. Nice, dude. Okay. All right. Some light volunteer work. Yeah? Nice, dude. Putting this in this box under here because that is commission slabs. And now we want to see the next order. We've got an order from Rena for the Iggly Buff. All right, Rena. Rena T. Fulbright. All right, very good. I believe we're out of orders. All out of orders. We got no orders in the queue. That means if you like short wait times, the wait time right now is 0. Okay, let's get a rotate on the slabs. We're going to get new slabs priced up here, guys, so don't go anywhere. That's a nice Master Ball Roaring Moon for $37. Lycia's Appeal Japanese for $190. This is English Paldean Whooper 9, $34. Here's Ninjask 10. This is a really solid card. This is like what I would call an investment card. It's just a really lovely vintage card with a very low pop from the prestigious Deoxys collection. Here's Lickitung, kind of similar to Deoxys, although this one's a gem mint rather than a PSA 10. Still probably pretty valuable even as a gem mint 10. Okay, so there, nice round. Can you lower Eevee to 17 and Krabby to 120? Oh, yes, sir. Let's get it. That's a big difference. Krabby's going to be 120, everybody. By the way, you got store credit if you're wanting to use it for anything. Here's 120. We have our box break going on there. And let's see, what was the other thing? Lower Eevee to 17. Was that the one I just put away? Yes. All right, we're going to put him back up on the table since he is now on sale. So 17 on the Eevee. Lickitung 100. Okay. No, I'll bring him back up if he's on sale. Here's Lickitung. He wants 100 for the Lickitung. So Mr. Aovic really does just want to get rid of these. Okay, there it is. Very nice. All right. Cool, cool, cool. No orders in the queue. Oh, might have just gotten something. Give me a second. Hit refresh. Oh, we have a Stephen Emery order. He's a new guy. Hello, Stephen. Testing my luck today. 3 more of the English OP5s. So for the English OP5s, I believe I need to go get a fresh box. I'll be looking for a fresh box of these now. Be right back, guys. It's been a while since I got a fresh box of OP5, so I don't even remember where I store them. So I'll be looking around for them. I'll be right back. I think I know where they should be. All right, have no fear. We have a lot of this Awakening of the New Era products, so we are set on that. I just looked into that. Ta-da. Plenty of it. It's because it was so popular. Okay. I'm back, says Steven. Steven. All right, 2, 3. Ta-da. Just sent for the EV slab. EV slab's off the table. All right. Ready? Snip this. All right. OP5, you know, it's got some really fantastic pulls in it. Here's an SR, Eustace Captain Kidd. So if you like One Piece, be sure to stick around on this channel, Mr. Steven. We have a very cool thing coming. It's a One Piece manga break, just like these other slab breaks we host. Okay, here we are. Very nice. All right, cool, man. Cool, man. Ta-da! Mr. Steven with an ST. Manga break. What's the manga? It's going to be the orange-haired girl, Nami. It's going to be Nami. He said 5, I think. Testing my luck today. 3 more English OP5s. Another mango break. Yes. As our continued experiment into offering mango breaks is hosted. Here we have a very goofy card. It's Dusclops 8.5 reverse hollow. I don't know, $3 or something? I don't know. Oh, pooey. Sorry. Yeah, what are you trying to do here, man? You're tempting me to buy it. I'm going to make this guy $3. $3 Dusclops. Okay. Here's a Cardconomist 10 Magnazone. Nice. This is from V-Star Universe. It's a Japanese 10. I don't know, $20. That's nice. Surfing Pikachu, which we'll actually have to look up a price for that one. I bet he's like 15. Only thing is, he's from the XY era, so there's a chance he's a bit higher. Use my credit for $3. You got it. Bring you back down to 18. Okay. Okay. Set this here. Now, Surfing Pikachu XY. Let's take a quick look into that. Jumping over here. PSA 9, XY Surfing, Pikachu, oops, Pillachu, Pikachu, there we go. And we want the lowest priced one. We don't want to deal with these auctions. And there it is. The cheapest one is actually about $25. Wow, that's really kind of expensive. But it is what it is. $25 for that Pikachu. I guess it's a secret rare from the set, so maybe it's not that surprising. This Pikachu is considered a secret rare in the XY Evolutions collection. Can you tell BGS to give me a black label for my mango? You never know. You never know. Maybe, 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 maybe. Probably not. We're all hoping for the black labels. Okay, let's close out of this. We have a very short line, almost no wait time at all. Jump into the queue, guys. If you like short wait times, which I know some of you do. Rena says she'll take the Eevee. All right, Eevee. All right. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's see. 12.4, huh? I guess that means round down. 12.4. So we're going to do 1, 2, 4. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 1, 1, 2, 2. See, I'm so bad at math. 1, 2, 2. There it is. So yeah, 1, 2, 2, Mr. AVAX. Rena. T. Fulbright. This marker's life is almost over. Oops, kind of slid out of my hand there. Hey, don't talk about Italy that way. An Italian brain rot cards. Italian brain rot cards. What are you talking about? Here's Palafin for just $38. Here's Mew for $195. Here's Rick and Morty Rick Sanchez for $175. Here's Appleton PSA 9 for $17 and Whooper 8 for just $21. Those are all on sale. Downing Troy CGC 9 Gengar Slab Away. Oh, one that you already have. Is that it? You've already got one? Hold on. Let me see. It's probably that. Mr. Troy, how are you tonight? Oh, okay, yes. So you already have it. This goes to 300 time. Very nice. All right. 1 hour in time for a meal shake and quick sit. How's everyone tonight this morning? We're doing all right. How are you? Got another card for the table here. Hey, that's a Rillaboom. Cannoli, please. Rick can go to 100. 175 seems high. No problem. Yeah, if you're the person who I'm doing the commission for, you're welcome to come in and ask me to lower it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Maybe it's more exciting for the audience. From 175 to 100, everybody. Now, we got Rillaboom. Very often, these cards that are for sale, the sellers are motivated to see them go. Rebel. Okay, we got Rillaboom Rebel. And he's 175. Found him. He's still about $45. All these years later, this card is still about $45. Rebel Trash, guys. Rebel Trash. Rebel Trash. Okay. Still, $45 is $45. My grandpa owned an Italian restaurant. What? Mamma mia! Doop-doop-doop-doop-boop. Did the Italian restaurant sound kind of like that? Master betrayed us. Okay. What else we got here? Hold on. These three are mine, right? I put them in the same box as yours, like a dummy. These are yours, AVAX. These are yours. I know these are definitely yours. But these three here, they're not yours, right? Pretty sure these are mine. Okay. Saw your video about the Van Gogh Pikachu. You still have? Says Wasim. Hey, what's up, man? So the Van Gogh Pikachu break, that one ended. We got a new break, Crown Pikachu. Okay, it's 1 in 29 break. Moving a little bit slowly so far. So but we got these Van Gogh Pikachu 9s. I'm really tempted to crack these out and send them off to tag grading. What do you guys think? Send these off to tag grading? Because if any of these turn into 10s, it's like doubling your money. And, I don't know, it's like $20 per card to test it. And if they fail, I guess that would be sad. But, I don't know, might be worth it. If just one of them transforms into a 10 over there, it's totally worth it. These are high-end 9s, basically. What's wrong with them? That's a great question. There's no grade report for PSA. I have a theory, though, that it's like up here, little notch on the top of the card, and tag might actually catch that and say, no, that's not going to be a 10. So they might grade it just as harsh. Not mine, yours. All right, so these, my precious. That's a Lord of the Rings card called Master Betrayed Us. Here's Marshadow 10 Hollow. Graded in the 6s, huh? 6,000. And here's Lucario. They're all from the same time period as the Magneton I see. Okay. Master Betrayers is just going to be $6. Mars Shadow is going to be $20. Let's make it $18. And Lucario's a little bit cooler. Excuse me. He got to be $24. There we go. Those are old. India just launched full-scale invasion. No, it did not. I've been to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. Let's see. I gotta sneeze so bad, dude. So 5 Team Rocket packs and 2 Chinese gem packs for Ethan Haas is next. Ethan Haas, how are you tonight, dude? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Went to a Post Malone concert tonight, mister. You like Posty? I don't really have an opinion on him. I don't know if I've really heard his music. I like Nine Inch Nails, that's it. It's like the only thing I like. Oh, man, I sneezed and now my nose is all stuffy. Don't you hate that? Face tattoos are so cool. I sent for a surfing Pikachu. I don't know a single song of Post Malone. Yeah, what exactly does Post Malone make? Any lightning breaks going on? Oh, we're meant to choose a new lightning break tonight. That's right. I forgot about that part. But first, let me go get some more gem Pokemon. All right. Gem Pokemon right over here. All right. Ta-da! Started off hip-hop. Now he's more into country. Yes. Well, I'm a little bit country. Well, I'm a little bit rock and roll. I hate it when hip-hop artists go over to country, but I don't listen to either hip-hop or country, and it still annoys me. I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. Country music sucks. There you go. Very nice. Okay. I'd rather listen to gospel than country. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ta-da! We got you, Ethan. Ethan Haas. Older bag. Hopefully not a year old, right? Not a year old. Not allowed to be a year old. Okay. I only know one Post Malone song. The first song he came out with that made him famous when he used to have cornrows. Ooh, Captain Pikachu in these gem packs, everybody. Captain Pikachu in the gem packs. Master Ball Sudowoodo. And Pichu. Pika! Alright, alright. Palmot. No, like a couple months. Haha. Hey, there's the Palmot. Cold. Scarecrow. Okay. Cold. Articuno. More like Farticuno. Haha. Let's see what I did there. I know he's able to sell out stadiums now. I guess switching to country will do that. I have no clue. I have no clue. I am not a follower of these things, so I do not know about them. All right, let's see. Ethan Haas. Eric Beltran. Is this expired? Nope, not expired. Okay, so you weren't in that box. Let's try the next box. Eric Rodriguez, Eric Tang, Eddie Berto. Eddie Berto? I wonder where Eddie Berto went. We gotta get Eddie Berto back. Ethan Murray, Eric Albert, some other guy named Asado Ernesto, Eric Hatfield, field with the hat, and who's this one? Eric Maurice This one's about to expire. Expires in a few days, in fact. How old of a bag we talking, Mr. Ethan? Is it like super old? Ooh. I got these, and I gotta get rid of these. If it's a year old, then it's considered an expired bag. Aha! Ho ho! Oh, wait. No, that's Ethan Hunter. I'm sorry. And it is an expired bag, but we never got rid of this one. I'm sorry. I probably got you excited. That's Ethan Hunter. Here's an Emerin, Enrique. There's a lot of bags over here. We've got an Eddie, Edwin, Efren, Edgar, Eddie, Edwin, Earthbound. No, I suspect it might be too old. Might have shipped since last time. No problem, man. So let me go ahead and create you a baggie. So, and this is Luke Laurie. So I'm going to place Luke Laurie over here somewhere. Wow, this area is a mess, dude. There's all these stickers and stuff floating about and empty booster packs. These should be stored somewhere else. They're such a nuisance. Let's store them here for the moment. And then here's the price tags. Now, Luke Laurie, we just need to put him back. All right. You know what happens? We create baggies like this one, and then I toss it to the side, to the left, and it's just stuck there. Until like right now when I get really annoyed and I start throwing them all away. Hey, what's up, Kyler? He says, how does this stream work? This is a live card shop. I'm the host. We open up booster packs for you live, kind of like DoorDash, but for Pokemon cards or whatever it is you want to open. More importantly, we have a lot of products you can't buy on the internet like normal. You have to have somebody like me sell it to you. For example, Slab Away, the ability to pay down a slab over 6 months. Or a break. A break is where multiple people buy custom booster packs, and then I shuffle those packs up and open them for you, and somebody gets like a special slab out of the booster pack. So it's a very cool place to be. I hope you'll consider hanging out here. We'd love to have you. All right, so I got to get rid of these somehow, huh? These are $4 each, and they didn't sell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of them. They're $3 each now. So this is $15 for the 5 of them if you want them. $3 each now. These are just hanging around. I got to get rid of them. They're clogging up the area. Okay. If you're wanting to participate, head right over to the YouTube live description. That's where you need to go next. Head over to the description. Here's Mark Valerian. Can I get the Pikachu surfing slab? Yes, you can. There's 2 of them, so there's still 1 more. Okay, Mr. Mark. New lightning break? Quick. I wonder if we have something on the table that would make a good lightning break. Here's a Deoxys. A Beth Smith. Shining Celebi. Sylveon, Master Ball. And Houndoom. That's such a nice Houndoom. Well, well, well. You want a card to be a lightning break. Zubat, maybe? Zubat's the new lightning break. There'll be 6 spots in Zubat. Zubat is Vintage Rocket Returns. Okay. Good. There will be no star card, so that he's as cheap as possible. Okay. What's up with that Typhlosion? Which one? Which one? Which Typhlosion? There it is. Lovely. So this is 1 in 6, the Zubat Lightning Break. We also have this Great Ninja over here. He's about 7 spots away. He's pretty close. Oh, and this Quest, this interesting Quest card, which is the specialty card right now. Quest Vaporeon, 1 in 13. Louis, take a Xanax bar. Is Louis here? Oh, hey, what's up, Louis? He says, real question. I ate a THC blank gummy, and I don't think I was supposed to eat the whole thing. I'm super dizzy and my stomach hurts. Any tips or suggestion? I don't know. Just give it more time. Yes. All right. Here's Ivan Rodriguez. Pika. Oh, Mr. Ivan. He would like one of these lovely Pikachus as well, I can see. This. Okay, lovely. Okay. How many MGs we talking? Like 3, maybe 4. Here's Jigglypuff. Hidden Legends, huh? Jigglypuff can go away. Bye, Jigglypuff. Okay. Got some more cards to price up, guys. How about this? Life Sweep, Mr. Krabs, Pristine. Okay. Yuck, 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 yuck. I sent a Discord message inquiring about sealed OP cases. Yeah? Sounds good to me. The answer is yes. I've got all the sealed ones. The Typhlosion in the stack. Oh, he's just a Typhlosion. Here it is. But he's not available because he's not on the table. He has no price tag. Some cards I just have sitting in inventory getting older. They're not for sale. Here's Mr. Krabs. The stuff on the table is for sale. Let's see. KU SpongeBob Pristine. I typed in SpongeBob. All right, there we go. Pristine SpongeBobadoo. Might be worth about 50 roughly. Let me check sold once again. Oops. I'm going to set it to $50. All right. Oh, it should be in blue. It should be in blue. I just messed it up twice. Can you split the Gengar to sell separately? Oh, no, they need to be sold together for sure. Because you're just wanting to buy the red one, right? You don't want to buy the green one. It's got to be sold together. The certification numbers match. They got the same grade. They were graded together. No separation. I only want the sweet red one. The blue one can suck it. The green one. Here it is. Oh, I thought you were a buyer. He says, they're mine already, lol. Well, yeah, I don't mind splitting it for you if you're the seller. If you're the buyer and you were doing that, I was kind of playing goalie for you. I was saying, let's get them sold together. But since you're the seller wanting to split them up, let's split them up. All right, give me a moment. I don't recommend it, by the way, but because you'll be stuck forever with the green one until you list it on eBay. These actually pair very well together. It is. You could have me just lower the price. You want me to just lower the price and keep them together? That could sell them too. But, you know, if you sell this one by himself, which is probably the temptation, this one's going to take forever to sell because he's by himself now. But together, they make sense as a pair. See, 62, 63, both graded 6 from the same folder collection. They just feel like a pair. Thanks, Mr. Yellower. Okay, so we're going to put this one on sale. It is just smarter to keep them together. They belong together. They're, you know, the set, it works that way. So if you buy a red one, you're supposed to buy a green one. You are. How much would you like to lower this by? 10%, 15%? What are you thinking? I can do 15 if you want to aggressively sell it. Let's do 450. All right, 450 it is. This. That's a really good deal, guys, on that Gengar now. That's a good deal. Okay. Well, we got a table full of interesting card deals up here. What do you guys think of that? Here's a Sandy Squirrel. Now, she is not a pristine 10. The Mr. Krabs is a pristine 10. She's just gem mint. Quick math. Okay, here's this. All right. There's supposed to be 3 6s. Lou, your dream paralysis demon coming. All right, I'm just going to say a 25. Okay, there's a Sandy Squirrel. Ah, this is a pity because this is the one I would expect to sell, is SpongeBob himself. That's a pity. He got a 9. Wonder what triggered the 9. I graded a couple of these. They're pretty difficult to grade. Like I did the TCCG grading on them. They're kind of asymmetrical. I must have found something they didn't like about it. All right. Okay. Set this one to 20. AVAX. All right. What's this? Bad Human Bad. That's a moment from the one of the episodes of season 1 where the dogs take over. Because Rick Sanchez gave the doggies an intelligence helmet. And they turned it on full intelligence. Remember that? They didn't like the Krabby Patties he made. That must have been it. Bad Krabby Patties. I don't really know what a non-hollow Rick and Morty card would do, especially when it's not like a logo or anything. It's just a moment from the movie. Or I'm sorry, from the TV show. And it's just gem mint. It's not pristine. I'm going to guess kind of a lower number on this, to be honest with you. Let's start it at 29. I think that one's definitely going to sell at a lower level. But here's a nice one. Now, if only this one was a 10, like the Rick Sanchez, I'd sell this one for a high price. But this is a 9. Jerry Smith, and he's taking a leak. This is also from that dog episode, is it not, this moment? All right. Good. Classic Pokemon art on that Gengar. Well, it's the only card set that has the old video game artwork on it, which I think makes the Carddass collection very, very special. That's why I carry some of the best cards from this collection of my own. So look at that. This is the only card set that does this. Very special. A lot of people just aren't aware of this set. They haven't gotten comfortable with the idea of it. If they've seen it before, they just kind of passed it over. But that's one of my favorite sets. Yep, that right there. One of my favorites because it's got the old Game Boy artwork. All right, Pissing Jerry. He's a Rainbow Hollow, but he graded 9. I don't know, dude. Setting it at 20 AVAX. Feel free to disagree with that price if you think that's too low, but do it soon in case someone buys it. All right. I think that one will be a tough sell, even for 20 bucks. I don't know who's going to be buying that one. Because it's Jerry, bro. All right, let's see. Is Moltres still up? Moltres? I do not know which Moltres you're speaking about. Danny St. Moore is back. Gengar EX Tag Slab, 45, and those 5 Disney packs. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the Tag Slab. Where is he? A lot of slabs on the table right now. There he is. Danny St. Moore picking up Gengar Tag. You know, when I know you're international, I had to peel all these stickers off. All right, 5 Disney packs. Now, You say 5 Disney packs. Could you elaborate? What Disney packs? There's a couple Disney sets, I think. You talking about Disney Blau? Let's see. Must be, oh. These Disney packs. Haha, you got it. Wasn't sure there. Yes, these are Mickey Mirrorverse. Sorry about that. Here's first player promo card. You get to keep the promo card. Let's see what's in here. Wouldn't it be crazy if there was like a big snipe in these and they were just sitting there the whole time and nobody had opened them and they'd just been sitting there? Love that kind of stuff when that happens. So fun. The Kingdom Heart ones? All right, you ready? Here goes. Here's this guy. This guy. This guy. All right, here's this guy. And this one as well. Here's a holo. And here's a holo as well. Nice. Yes, there's Kingdom Heart cards. They're very expensive. What? So you got one full art out of there. I don't recognize them. Oh, it's Aladdin, isn't it? That's going to be Aladdin. That'll be Aladdin. Okay, you got creepy looking genie. There it is. That was Mickey Mirrorverse. Such a strange card set. Popping these in here. What's that? It's this. That was Mickey Mirrorverse, but we were all sold out of it. Those were some leftover packs. We sold them at a discount. Okay, cool, man. Now, let me talk about some stuff going on the channel. We've got Destined Rivals Box Break. This is a box battle. One person gets the whole box. 5 spots are filled. We need 4 more spots. New Lightning Break, Zubat, 1 in 6. Greninja, which is 7 spots away. That's Gold Star Greninja. Crown Pikachu, out of 29. And the Waifu Break, out of 15. So those are all some options. I could see this one moving pretty fast, the Greninja Gold Star. Zubat's an interesting one. He's a extremely rare Team Rocket Returns Reverse Holo with this very interesting looking Zubat artwork. He's a vintage card. Zubat was always very popular with Team Rocket in the old video games. Pop 29. I own a couple of these. That's why I'm able to sell one. I own a couple of them. Okay, 29. Let's see. Let's get these exclamation marks up here. We're going to keep the exclamation mark on the right side of the slab now. Make it easier for me to find them. I think it'd be hard to find. Oh, like this right here. Okay, exclamation mark. All right, we got 2 gym breaks running. This English EV10 with tag and this Stadium Weedle. So those are 2 gym breaks. The Tag Team Legendary Bird Break is done. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We have an order from Tyler Franson. 2 Sneaker Bunko Volume 2. All right, you got it, Mr. Tyler. 2 of these. Oops. Best Zubat I've seen. Zubat's a classic Rocket Pokemon. So, Rocket, Magneton, Grimer, all those kind of wheezing, coughing, Ekans. They're all really fun to collect. Okay, there you go. That was 3 packs. Guy pointing finger at girl. Ooh. We have a short wait time. If you enjoy short wait times instead of waiting all day for your order to get opened, we have a short wait time right now. Grab this. Pretty crazy daytime stream. By the way, if you're watching this stream and you've never placed your first order, give it a try. Place your first time order. Your orders keep us entertained. That's how we stay entertained. So, all the commission slabs are priced. I get to price my own slabs now. How nice is that? I get to price my own slabs now. Can you believe it? Okay, so there it is. Destined Rivals again. Also, here's the Weiss Magic Girls. 3 spots before we do the break on the signature and open a new case. Here is Dust Noir for $35. We got Leafeon for $38 on sale. Kieran. Clefairy. And Ghastly. Ghastly's coming down. He's been up there a long time. Here's Ho-Oh from Mr. LaFlame. Cool. Okay, how does the Magic Girls work? If you open a whole booster box of the Magic Girls, your name gets put up here. So you gotta open a whole booster box of Magic Girls. These numbers represent booster boxes. After all 20 are opened, you have a chance at a signature. One of the 20 people will get a signature. Very neat. So, Tyler, nothing crazy coming out of there. Let me hit refresh. My girlfriend wanted to order some Hidden Fates, but she can't find any on your shop, says Brucey. We used to sell Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates is off the menu for now. We just focus on certain card sets at a time. Not that I don't have it, we just don't want it on the menu at the moment. All right, let's go ahead and price up a new card. Are you ready? Who doesn't like a freshly priced card? So we got a nice Meowth. I'm sorry, we got a nice Mew. Mew, Mewtwo, Meowth. They all sound the same. Okay. Very nice. Look at that Mew. He's sitting on all the old Pokies. I'm sitting on him. I'm waiting to see what happens. I think they're moving too fast. All right. Looks like we can only compare this to a PSA 10, but I personally think this is prettier than a PSA 10. And the number on this one is 002. It's Japanese. $64, really. Cheapest PSA 10 is $64, which seems kind of high. I'm going to do a lower price than that. I'm going to do 40, I think. All right, so 40. 40 for the 25th anniversary Mew 10. $2.5 thousand sale on Evo Skies. Let me take a look over here. Evo Skies. Booster box. Let's go with highest price, maybe? Don't go chasing Pokefalls. Is he a scalper technically then? If I have Rocket booster boxes, like Vintage Rocket First Edition, and I don't want to sell them, that doesn't make me a scalper. It just means I don't want to sell them. They're mine. What you talking about? Let's see. How pricey have these gotten? Now I see one for $1,900. What do you guys think? We crack open a box of Evo Skies, $1,900. Here's an Evo Skies for $1,000 per box, but it's from Hungary. Definitely authentic. The seller promises. Whew. Here we go. The cheapest Evo Skies box is this one right here with 16 watches, $1.7 thousand. Wow. That's just really crazy. I don't even know what to think about that. Oh, not Bunko Volume 2, Bunko Volume 1. Any closer to breaking open that Bunko 2? Maybe. You know, I do need to move. I do want to move. I could probably sell the Sneaker Bunko. Yeah, I'm supposed to move. Let me see how much a case of Sneaker Bunko is selling for, because I have a sealed case of it. I have a sealed case of Sneaker Bunko, so sometimes the sealed case is more valuable than individual boxes. Okay. What were we selling for? We were selling them at like $25 a pack last time, right? I can see there are no sealed cases of Sneaker Bunko for sale. All right, oops, Boister Box. Let's look up the booster box price real fast. Booster box. Does anyone want to contribute a card to the Pokepot, by the way? We got the Pokepot. Remember, we changed the rule so that if you roll 3 of a kind or doubles, you actually pull 3 cards back out. So it's a little more forgiving now, the Pokepot is. Boxes are like 180 on eBay, 200-ish. True. Although, if I recall, my prices were based off of the fact that they were coming from a sealed case. And back then, the sealed cases of Sneaker Bunko Volume 1 cost way, 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 way more than the booster boxes, box per box, right? Like if you divided the Sneaker Bunko case by the number of boxes in it, and then compared that price to the loose boxes on eBay, which everyone sort of understands, those boxes, they don't have anything good in them, right? Everyone knows this. Those are all search boxes. So we were selling through them at like, I can't remember, it was like 21 or 25. I can't remember the exact number in my head. But we had some ridiculous price on the Sneaker Bunko, and it just all sold through. We sold all of it. It was all gone. It's weird because I thought I'd ordered a Sneaker Bunko, and it never arrived, now that I'm thinking about it. Let me look this up, because I'm curious. I don't think I ever received it. Ordered on October, delivered on October. Never mind. Never mind. My girlfriend wanted to order some Hidden Fates, but she can't find any on your shop, says Brucey. Hey, how's it going, Brucey? That's because I don't sell them. All right, let me hit refresh. Sneaker Bunko the best. It's not more anything. Essentially scalping if it's in large quantity. That's not what I said. He said he's able to sell one of those PSA 10 Zubats because he's sending out a bunch of them. Objectively, aren't you a scalper if you're just buying the PSA 10s and holding? Oh, he's not even talking about Hidden Fates. Louis, I thought you were talking about Hidden Fates. He's talking about the Zubats. No, I wouldn't classify that as scalping at all. When it comes to slabs, anyone's allowed to buy any slab they want to buy. And, if do you want to call like the Gary Pokemon King guy like a scalper because he bought a lot of Charizard first editions? Does that make him a scalper, or does that mean he just liked the Charizard more than any other card? And then he's allowed to sell them. But that's an interesting concept. But everyone does this. Everyone buys their favorite card set. I bought a lot of Rocket Returns. I could have bought a lot of Unseen Forces. I could have bought a lot of Crystal Guardians. I could have bought a lot of... actually, it would make a lot of sense if I bought a lot of the... what's the set that the Dragon Frontiers? That would have made a lot of sense if I bought a lot of that. But I bought Rocket Returns because I'm a Rocket fan. So I just got a lot of Rocket slabs. That's all there is to it. And... yeah, but people are allowed to buy the slabs, dude. That's how the slabs work. That's just how it is. If you got like one guy and he's got all of the Pikachu slabs because he's just buying all Pikachus, he's allowed to do that. Well, you're gonna like, gatekeep people buying slabs. You can't do that. That's strictly the secondhand market. The secondhand market where you can go and buy things for whatever price you want to buy them for. Is very different from like going to Walmart or going to Target and standing in line to buy all the product off the shelf to sell on eBay. Very different thing. Same with like using bots. It's very different from using bots. I just bought the slab off the secondhand market because I like it. All right, here goes. I don't like to sell the ones I like. Let's see. Should have bought all the Legend Maker I could find. Looking back now. I like the Totodile emoji. Oh gosh, bots have taken open. Should I open it or should I keep it sealed? Oh, that's very interesting, mister. You don't sell a set, and it's also one of your favorite sets. Very interesting. That's true. My bad. I stand corrected. Should I open it, or just should I keep it sealed? All right. Here is Mr. Mark. He says, can I get 2 of the Adventure Time Card Wars and a 1989 Nintendo game pack? Yes. And just to be sure, we're opening up those Card Word packs. Is that right? We're opening up the packs. Scrapless Card Wars. Here they are. Ta-da! There you go. Oops. Bring me back over here. He says, yes, please. All right. So, let's grab the Nintendo game pack. There we go. Very nice. Did you ever hear back from the guy that owes you Terra Festival? He explained to me that the products got lost during shipping and he lost a ton of money as a result. And he said he would like to offer me store credit to be used on OP12. That's what he told me. OP12 doesn't come out for a little while. I told him that's probably what we're going to do. I said, all right, do that with me. It's pretty bad. I mean, he basically got a free loan from me. Let's see, 1P12 Japanese launch. It's supposed to be coming out in May, huh? That's interesting. I better get to, let me start talking to this guy about that, because it's crazy how fast the time passes, man. Let's see, where'd he go? There he is. Is this it? All right, there we go. So let's open this. Yeah, just another spinning plate. All right. Very nice. Ooh. Here's Punch Out. Very nice. We've got Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario. Double Dragon. Bowser. And Lopar. Ooh, Lopar. Those SRs are fire. Your package got lost when you got it at such a good price. It's pretty wrong. I don't feel like he took care of me properly. I feel like at the very least he should have immediately refunded me, and he didn't do that. And I don't feel like he communicated any of it very well. Like, I didn't understand that the packages had gotten lost during shipping. So I'm not very happy with it. We're going to see what happens next, because I'm asking him to replace the product now. Here we are. All right, so that was your 1989 Nintendo game pack. Pulled a little Bowser card there. Now we're opening up 2 packs of Card Wars. Yeah, I need to get that back from him for sure. It's a lot of money, actually. Here's Lady Beetle. It's Lady Beetle. Here, let's leave these up. Lady Beetle. Husker Knight. Look at that Husker Knight. Life Beater Gnome. Life Beater. What? He's an underpants. Captain Taco. Sand Jackal. Strange. Damn, issues again? No, it's just it's an old issue that we're still waiting to have fixed. Here's Lieutenant Mushroom. Green Gnome. Silo of Justice. And Husker Amulet. Polterclops. Portal of Nowhere. Ghost Tree. Golden Jackal. Confectionery Ring. There we go. Such funny cards, all. Yes, they're very silly. All right. I think you're a new bag, right? New bag? That's still not fixed? Holy hell, yeah. Well, he explained to me that the problem was he shipped those items and they got lost in transit or something like that. They got lost at customs, he said, is the problem. He said the way it was supposed to work was he was supposed to ship it to a guy and that guy was supposed to forward it to me. And he said they never even made it into the country. And he said, so he had to do a big claim or something, like for insurance. And he says it's been very bad and he lost a bunch of money. And I was like, all right. So now he's supposed to fix me up with OP12 for the value of the other products. That's what he's supposed to do. I don't know if I'll do any future business with them after that. He's just kind of unreliable. The only thing is, he does actually get the product to me a bit cheaper. And sometimes he gets the product to me a bit faster. So it's like, you know, it's sort of like, ugh. Next time, I'm not going to let it work out this way if there is a next time. So, like, next time, if he's failing to ship a product, I'm just going to be like, refund me immediately. Don't do any more business with me. Let's see. It's very tricky, you know, because I have a supplier who I work with, and you always have a bunch of, you know, things up in the air at the same time. So it always is sort of a complex mesh of products, right? Like, you got a couple of these, a couple of those, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, all at the same time. So that's just how it works out. You just order a lot of random things, and they're all sort of in transit. So I can't imagine myself only ordering one item from the guy at a time, and then he lands it over here, and then I order the next thing after it lands. That's just not how it works. I wouldn't give a rat's tat if they lost money and need the product I ordered. Yeah, I know. Here's Archie Abut. Tag 10 Mew. Whoa. Tag 10 Mew's out of here. That's a good one, huh? All right. Good. All right. After that, there's no orders in the queue. We have an empty queue. Unacceptable conditions. If that's true, that is crazy. Yeah, these are products from last year, August. Last year, August. That's how long ago it was. And I think it's actually possible that the product really was lost, because I've heard of stuff like that. Stuff like that, you know, it's happened to me even. But where I've lost a product in the middle of shipping, it just disappears. So I've had stuff like that happen before. But the difference is, I don't feel like he treated me the best. I feel like he should have communicated it faster. He should have said, hey, here's an idea. I'll convert the missing product into store credit, and then I'll get you the next product for free on that store credit. He didn't come up with that idea. I came up with that idea. And he just doesn't communicate very often. And yeah, I don't know. It feels like pulling teeth when you communicate to him. I think it's probably because here's my thoughts. So if he's not lying, if he really did lose a bunch of money, this is a very sore subject for him then. Because it's like, oh God, I got to fulfill this still, and I'm going to lose a bunch of money when I fulfill it. Because it's, you know, it's almost $10,000 a product. And yeah, and I just need him to fill it. I need him to fill it. Here's Metric. I agreed with him to let him fulfill the missing orders with like OP12 and the set after that too. Have you seen any increases in your prices since the tariffs yet, TCC? Yeah, there's been tariffs that I paid through companies like DHL and FedEx and such, and it hasn't really changed much, to be honest with you. But I haven't ordered that much either, maybe. Feels like I haven't ordered that much. Maybe your product was taken by one of the Japanese gangs for money laundering. That's why I'm so skittish about buying stuff from over there. Yeah, you never know. You never know what happens, man. Let's get another product up on the table, shall we? All right, here we go. This one's a real banger. Nice Charizard. Ooh. Oh, man, and a nice tag slab. That's good. Like it. Mister, because you treat everyone in every transaction with respect and professionalism. Well, yeah, I mean, I just try to, in general, I try to do a good job. I try to think, what would it be if I was the customer? So I try to have perspective, and I don't know. I don't feel like he did a very good job with me. I've run into this problem, though, with people who work as vendors. They really do not care as much about, you know, the transaction that they have with me. Maybe it's because they have too many customers. All right, let me mark this unread. And let me look at this. Let me go ahead and mark this unread. Now we go to this. Miss Tammy said, did you get my second small package? I don't think I did. Just look at those. Let's get this price on this beautiful Charizard real fast. He might become a break, though. I might save him for a break because he's so nice. V-Star. Charizard. 211. Okay, he's not terribly expensive even. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, he's going to be a break. What? Lame. Oh, maybe I have received it though. You know, I need to double check my receiving area, Miss Tammy. I need to double check it. It is. It's possible it's there and it's just buried. You should see what it looks like over there. It's quite messy. So I'll double check it for you, okay? I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, though, so I was just thinking off the top of my head. We are? But yeah, I could probably dig around there. Maybe there's an unopened package. Hey, wait, we need a bigger. It's a little black bubble mailer. I'll double check for it, okay, Timmy? No, have no fears. All right, we'll check on it probably tomorrow morning. Ready? Wouldn't be a good idea to do it midstream. So I was going to say 40. 1 out of 2. All right, that one doesn't sell fast. I will be very surprised. Okay. I put the exclamation mark on the side here now because it helps me find it easier. I paid priority for that stuff. It better be there. You paid priority, Tammy? Tammy, what did I teach you? Always ship bulk media mail. You're not allowed to ship Pokemon cards as media mail. So, here is a Noctowl 10. Look at that Noctowl 10. It's a nice Noctowl, isn't it? TCC, I'll go in on that Charizard break. Says Harsh Barge. All right. Did you have store credit? Is that why you're saying that? Or did you need to send payment in? So he's one. Who's going to be number two? Oh, we got an order right now, actually. Give me let me price up the knocked out real fast. He should be like 35 or 30 or something like that. Oops. He is a 10 knocked owl 114. Knocked out is going to be $30. All right, the break is over for the Charizard. Okay. $30. Hitting refresh here. And it's gone. Wow. Hey, man, you put something hot on the table and it doesn't last. So we have Carlos Chavez. How's it going, man? 4 Azure Lanes. You got it. 4 Azure Lanes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of the Opus 1 and the Charizard break. You got it. I like this song that's playing. Man, his music's so good. Let's see. Mr. Carlos, did you need a new card? I bet you did. Bet we'd never made a card for you before. New card. And those are Bunko, not Azure. Oh, I do that all the time. Sneaker Bunker and Azure Lane. I'm always mixing those two. Put that back. How do I do that? Do that every time, I swear. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. There it goes. All right, Carlos Chavez. Let's place you in here. Now, let's snip this. We also need 2 packs of Opus 1. These are very good. I'm surprised these do not sell much faster. This is the base set for Final Fantasy. That's Final Fantasy base set, and it's weirdly affordable. And there's like shockingly expensive cards that come out of here. None of it adds up. I'm actually tempted to open up the remaining boxes myself and just prep them for grading. There we go. And there we go. Good. So, girl. Here's a hollow. Another hollow. Oh, here we go. So, Chocobo, Tifa, Sephiroth. Right off the bat, you're done. You just made money, dude. This Sephiroth sells for much more than the cost of the booster when it grades 10, and they typically grade 10. See more butts. All right, cool. That was so easy, dude. Plus, you can actually grade this Chocobo card. Yeah, these packs are underpriced. I didn't underprice them. The market did. I think the market doesn't understand that Opus 1 is a good set. They don't understand it. Easy Sephiroth. There we go. Doesn't make any sense that people don't open more of it. All right. I might have to open those myself. All right. Throw that away. Now, we got your spot in the Charizard break. Let's put this away. Overshadowed by the Magic collab. Here's Phanpy. Phanpy's ready to come down. Gengar, that one's not ready to come down. That one sells. This guy's ready to come down, though. Palafin. Here's Birthday Pikachu. That one's really good. I'm surprised that one hasn't sold. Sableye. That one's really good. I like the Sableye. Here's a Marowak. He's ready to come down. French Fry Patrick Star. Call of Legends pack break. What is stuck back here? Here it is. And the Tammy Hello Kitty. We have an order from Mark Valerian. Can I get in for the Charizard break? Here it is. Charizard break is done, everybody. Remember, when you open Pokemon cards, you can actually donate a card to make up a new Pokemon Gym Break deck. Mark Valerian. Oh, did you not have a card either, Mr. Mark? Maybe Mark doesn't have a card. Huh. Surprised. All right. I thought you had me in the break. It says Harsh Badge. Here's Mark Joel Valerian. I'm going strictly in order of the PayPal queue. There it is. All right. I would have just bought it, dude. Would have just bought what? Mr. Harsh Barge, I don't know who you are is the problem. I know that your name is Harsh Barge. I had store credit. I don't know who you are. It is. Also, for something as desirable as Charizard, it's best to get into the PayPal line. I know typically we allow some line cuts when it comes to store credit, but when it's something very time sensitive, it's best to jump into the line. I store credit. What was the name on it? James Beam. I messaged right after. Here it is. Let's see, James. All right, James. Here it is. I apologize, James Beam. It's like a learning moment. Basically, here's the rule for store credit. You can ask for me to use your store credit in chat. Officially, you're required to put in a PayPal penny message. So those are the rules. We voted on it a long time ago. You might not have known that because you might be pretty new or something, but those are officially the rules. So what was going on is you have this really desirable break, and I know there's going to be multiple people trying to get in, and whoever gets into the break is whoever sent in the first PayPal message. The trick with PayPal, if you have store credit, send in 1 penny, and so that spends your credit. And so that's how we deal with the product where everyone wants it at the same time. We create a queue in PayPal, and it comes down to whoever got into that queue first. I should have explained that to you, but I didn't know who you were right away. So I just kind of assumed you knew that. That was the problem. So I apologize for that. Sorry about that, man. PayPal is king. That's right. Because when you have something everybody wants, we have to have a way to hand it out fairly. So a long time ago, because we've been running for a long time ago, we made it the rule that we'll use the PayPal queue to decide who gets it first. That way it's fair for everybody. But I should have told you that because I just kind of assumed you knew it, but I realized you probably did not know that. So I apologize for that. What if you don't have PayPal for penny message? So you can use PayPal, you can use ZELLE, CASHAPP, crypto, whatever you want. You would just do the same deal. Send the smallest amount that platform allows, and then use that to send in a message. And then we will just look at who sent the message in first. What would you think is a better investment, PSA 10 Moonbryon or Evolving Skies Booster Box? Honestly, I feel like the Moonbryon. Because the Evolving Skies Booster Boxes rarely pay out. Rarely. All right. Okay, so I'll put this over here. I apologize about that, Mr. James. I'm going to go ahead and let these guys go at it. But if you pay close attention, we got a lot of great breaks right now and in the future. So stick around and keep your eyes open. We'll have more and more and more, I promise. We'll have more and more and more, I promise. We'll have lots more cards. I promise to get them graded up and get them on here on the table for you, okay? All right. Here goes. So, Mr. Mark and Mr. Carlos. It would be so easy to snipe packs from a box of Live Custom if you could buy stuff in store credit in chat. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we ran into, is a question of when should you be allowed to order stuff from chat versus the queue, right? The queue. And so when something's highly desirable, that's when the queue is required. All right, you ready? Here goes. So we got Carlos with Swampert. Here's Mark with a PP2. Round number 1 goes to Carlos. Round number 2. We got 9 tails for 80. Oops. And Machoke for 80. That's a tie. Alakazam, 80 HP. Dragonite, 100 HP. It's all tied up now. Oh, it could go either way. Good luck, guys. Dark Magneton, kind of a weaker one, but he's in the middle. Oh, no, he got Computer Search. He wins. He gets Charizard. That's the end. Mr. Mark Valerian, you get the card. The card goes to you. All right, sorry about that, Carlos. That is a gym break. Okay. ZELLE minimum is $1. So if you have to use $1 minimum, what we'll do is we'll actually add that $1 to your store credit before paying, okay? So you won't lose $1. All right. Say one over here. Say one over here, like that. So how about that? There's the outcome. That feels pretty good, huh, Mark? That's not so bad, but trust me, you'll take some losses too if you keep participating in the gym breaks. You could have a streak where you missed the break many times. There's a bonus card for you coming, Mr. Carlos. It's these fun little poker cards because everyone walks away with the pull. It's just that your pull's not as fancy. Let's see what you guys are saying. I think the ESBB is the exact same price as the Moonbryon. The Moonbryon's a bit more expensive, but they're actually getting pretty close to each other, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Here's Joker Joker. Here's Ace of Spades, and here's Winnie the Pooh. That's pretty cool. You got the snowman, and he's colored. All right, Mr. Carlos, let's grab your bag. I don't know. I don't like the black and white ones as much. It does look good. It looks good with Mickey Mouse. All right, perfect. Now, we're going to snap a picture and pull these down. These cards have had their chance to sell. They're coming down. All right. Snapping a picture. Okay. And what happens is these come down and they go into the commission box with the other commission slabs. Phrasing. Moonbryon going back up. It was low 2K last month. Now it's 2.6. Yeah, well, the Evolving Skies box costing almost as much as the Absolute Chase pull just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's what happens. That's why I say you can't ignore the slabs. I think some people act like only the booster box price counts, but it's just not true. When the booster box price is too high relative to the price of the slab, people just say, why would I open a box? I'm just going to go buy it. Just going to go buy a graded one. All right, so let's see where we're at. Hit refresh here. Click. We have Javier Arroyo, 3 Azure Lane, Volume 2. Hey, you was watching that, and he said, wait a second, I want to snipe that Azure Lane. Okay, there we are. It's a nice little Gyarados, isn't it? That's holographic Gyarados. You want to see that up close? The artwork is from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Quality card. Okay. Snipping this. Snip. Good. America is a nation that can be defined in the foothills of... Here's a hollow and a hollow. It does look nice. That is Azure Lane. Here's a Rockstar Girl. She's a rock star, but she's also wearing a face mask, maybe. Okay, very interesting. And here we are. Gigantic Boobs Girl. She's the prize. All right. Grab your bag. Ooh. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's get another rotation. We've got Leafeon, Leafeon, Cerulege, Master Ball Sylveon, Golbat, that's one of mine. and Suicune. Beautiful round. Okay. Mr. Marks over here, he says, can I get one Pokemon action, Flip Series 1, and shipping? Now I understand wanting a round of shipping this time, because you got a sexy slab this time. But you know, it's funny. I think that you still have your round from yesterday night. So I think all I got to do is send your bag down without the shipping label. And Alexis should combine them. I'm scared, though. Okay. Snip of this. So where should I move, guys? Huntington Beach, California. Reno, Nevada. Charleston, South Carolina. Which of those three places you think is best? Here's your Voltorb. Oh, I do? Well, I think you ordered shipping just like yesterday or something, right? But the shipping wouldn't have gone out yet. There it goes. Charleston. Charleston is really interesting. I'm surprised how many great waterfront properties there are out there. There's a lot of water in Charleston. They got these really cool house designs that remind me of Newtown, St. Charles, where I kind of grew up near. Karis and I used to go walking in this new urbanism project called Newtown, St. Charles. And we always thought the home designs were very distinctive. They did not look like the normal housings in the St. Charles region. They had some sort of weird, Southern charm kind of design. Well, when you look at Charleston, that's the exact design of the homes. They stole the idea from Charleston. That's where it comes from. So when we saw that, and we're like, well, this is a beach area with warm water and pleasant weather, decently pleasant weather, and so that one's definitely a temptation. We like the design of the homes. Ooh. Okay, so Mr. Mark, let's grab that bag. Connecticut's not being considered currently. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Connecticut? What do you like about it? Okay. Taxes will kill in California. Yes, so if I move to California, they have a top tax rate of 13.3%. So some portion of my income, I assume, will fall into that range, and it'll be really annoying because Karis and I file duly, and it's just not good. Best seafood. Simon, you bring up North Korea a lot. Are you a spy? Best seafood, Connecticut. Best seafoods in Connecticut. That's a bold statement. Let's see what AI has to say about that. Which state has the best seafood? It depends on what type of seafood you're after. Number 1 is Maine. Number 2 is Louisiana. Number 3, Massachusetts. Number 4, Alaska. King crab in Alaska. That sounds really good. Number 5, Washington. Florida. Number 6. Okay, there it is. Looks like I would prefer Alaska for seafood. King crab leg in Alaska. That sounds incredible. Okay, and so now we've got, what do we got? Mr. Gabriel. Hello, Gabriel. He says, 1 Azure Lane, Volume 2. 1 Azure Lane. I just got a notification from PSA that they're officially shipping out that submission. So we are getting our cards back from PSA finally. That took long enough, didn't it? It took quite a while. Here's a holo. Not Baltimore. Haha. Am English and can tell you, don't move there. Spoke noise. I will argue about best seafood is closer to southern Maryland, Baltimore area. If you did, you would know Alaska has it. I'm sure Alaska has it because I believe both Alaskan king crab leg and snow crab legs come from that same area, don't they? So I would imagine that would be the best place for the crablets. But also you have to think, well, I don't know. I would imagine Washington having such an incredible proximity to Alaska. I mean, it's the closest American state proximity. That would probably give it an advantage too, maybe. Unless they're flying it. If they're flying the crab, then no, it wouldn't matter. Oh, seafood is nasty anyways. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's That is heresy. Here we are, Mr. Gabriel. Who eats that crap? Hey, man, more for me. More for me, man. I bought some crab legs today. 2 pounds snow crab legs, $25. You know, I used to never buy crab legs because I consider them too expensive. Now, when you look at how much it costs to go out to eat and how much it costs to go out to eat, even at a fast food restaurant, now they seem pretty affordable. It is sort of like the same cost as just going out to eat, but I don't know. I'd rather have crab. I'd rather have the crab legs. All right, let's take a picture of this. Should stay in the sea, bro. I don't know. Take a picture. All right. It depends on what kind of seafood, though. Like Alaska, yes, has good seafood, but only if you like king crab and snow crab and salmon. Yeah, that's what I like. Snow crab, king crab, and salmon. Those are perfect. Those are like 3 of the best seafoods there are. All right, very nice. Table is clearing up a little bit here. More room for more slabs. Let's take a quick look at this Cadabra. What do you think cost this Cadabra to grade 9? One of the things I'm learning about these old vintage cards is that they are really expensive as 10s and very hard to grade 10 these days. Tag grading says this graded 9 because a ding in the front bottom left corner. What ding? You can't even see it in the photo. Look. Corner wear. What ding? What are they talking about, dude? I swear to God, sometimes I like tag and sometimes they make no sense to me. What ding? It's a perfect corner. It looks great. Man, they're just causing me to miss out on a 10. That's it. That's it. They're just making me lose out on a 10. That's really silly. You know, I probably examined this Cadabra for a while before I sent it in. I probably decided it was good enough for a 10. And then their stupid machine said, no, actually, that's a... You know what I'm saying? I don't even like cracking their slabs. Their slabs are terrible. Somebody had to go and complain about their slabs, and now their slabs are much harder to break, too. Red salmon, king salmon, halibut, cod, king crab, whitefish. What are you saying? You're talking about Alaska? What do you guys think? I moved to Alaska? I'm not moving to Alaska. I'm not moving all the way up there. Oh, dear heavens. It looks like I've scratched it. Oh, my God, dude. I have to say, I think the tag slabs are the toughest ones to crack. I don't like it. I don't like the PSA's new slab either. Sorry, guys. Sometimes the cracking doesn't work. We had this happen the other night where the bottom part of it just breaks off too easy. Look at that. What a pity. I probably would have had to sell this for about $22 anyways, or $25, I don't know. That's a pity. All right. He's not Charizard. Don't listen to me. I'm just coping with the fact that he's scratched there now. God, that's so upsetting because they say the reason he got a 9 instead of it. Look at the centering on this card. The reason this got a 9 instead of a 10 is because they say there's a ding there. There's no ding there. What are they talking about? Their own picture shows no ding. I hate that term too. I hate the word ding. I feel like they're just trying to be snobby and come up with something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's our vocabulary. We've added some kind of scientific idea. It's not scientific at all, dude. Just tell me if the edge has an actual problem. When the crack goes wrong, yeah, it's happened before. When you crack cards, you risk damaging them, and I was just kind of going fast. He's kind of a cheaper one. If that was a really important card, we'd be going really slow. But I got more of those. Look, here's another one. It is. They're going to say the same thing probably. I bet they're going to say, like, there's a ding on the corner. Like, what are you talking about? That's not a ding. That's just the natural curvature of the edge. That's how it comes out of the booster pack. You can't call that a ding. That's how it is right out of the factory pack. All right, next up we have Gabriel. He wants a Upper Deck Halo. So we have lost our Dark Kadabra. I really like Dark Kadabra. It makes me sad. I'm going to try that again with like the Dark Muck too. I'm going to be cracking him and sending him back out probably to, who should I send him to? Probably PSA, right? I'll be sending that one to PSA. And we have to make a mental note that freaking tag grading, they will give your card a 9 on nothing on the vintage. All right, here we go. We've got Jun. The story so far. The story so far. Love these Upper Deck Halo cards. They're great. We got Edward Buck. Halo 4, the story so far. And Cortana. She's looking kind of naked. Good. Morning, mister. What's up, Brandon? How's it going? Brandon Boutillier. Pickled Walrus. Looks nice. Tag slabs look clean. They're suppressing the 10s. They're not suppressing the 10s, but they've defined a quote-unquote ding on what's essentially just a curved lip of the card, and it's meant to be curved there. That's just how that's just how the card is. It's not, it's not some bad thing. It's actually meant to be that way. We have to remember that though. The edges break so easily that the plastic turns in and scratches it. So we're gonna have to remember that. Okay, Gabriel. It's good practice. This is how you become skilled at doing this kind of stuff, but it disappoints me. I wish the Dark Kadabra of all cards had made it, but luckily he's not like a Charizard or anything. I wonder if the card grading companies actually make the cards really hard to break back out, because they're hoping their competitors will fail to crack the slab. Let's take a quick look and see why they failed this card as well. I want to know. Why did this card fail? Okay, tag grading. Says there's a ding in the upper right corner. Nope. Just the normal edge of the card. It's not a ding at all. See, they say there's a ding here. Let's zoom in. This card, without a doubt, should be graded 10. That is the normal card. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Anyone who's opened a lot of vintage cards knows that's how they are. You visibly can't even see an issue. How could they call that a ding? Oh, but it's interesting on the bottom corner. Check this out. Now that actually could fail the card, that little white speck there. That's another thing we learned about. That's another thing we learned about this company. You have to be very careful because sometimes you will think that you have a borderline card that could potentially grade 10 with, if you cracked it. And then you'll crack it out and you'll find some flaw that they literally didn't list. So there will be a flaw that they did not list. And so you have to be really careful with that because you think maybe you have a shot and you don't. So we had that happen with a, what was it, like a Slow King or something, right? Let's go ahead and take a picture of this in the regrade channel. And we're going to crack this anyways. Crazy, right? We're going to crack this anyways and send it back out. Mr. Just Debunk Tag. I'm not debunking. I'm doing whatever I can to optimize my income on my own card. This card belongs to me. So I want to be able to get the most money out of it. I'm scared to actually break this card again because the plastic is so brittle. They said they designed it that way on purpose. I don't actually believe them. They said, well, we designed the plastic so that it cracks really bad for authenticity's purpose. But I actually think what's going on is they asked for a super polished kind of plastic. And it's just the case that super polished plastic is extra brittle. That's what I'm betting. Just going a little at a time here. Here, a little crack underneath. Means I'm doing it right. That's the plastic losing its grip somewhat. That's really tough. There it goes. You hear that? Ah, this is too slow, man. This is the danger corner. This is where we keep injuring our cards, is on this corner. So this will make your grip strength stronger if you do this all day. Do you guys need me to zoom out at all? There it is. I realize I hold my hand to the side here. I guess you hear that? That was good. Oh. I don't like this, man. Ah, there it goes. Okay, that corner's good. I felt it come loose. It's like pulling teeth, guys. Yeah, if you're a girl and you don't have good grip strength, good luck doing this. Girl collectors at a disadvantage. Oh, it's still broke, man. Wow, it's just so fragile. Don't drop your tack slabs on the ground, because I think that these would crack right away. I wonder what their own technique is for removing cards, because you know they likely have to do that from time to time, right? Okay. You need better pliers. No. It's not the pliers. The pliers do a very good job. It's the design of this, the plastic. The plastic. I'm going very gently. Well, the grip on the side is still quite strong. Okay. We might have it here. We can open this up enough for him to slide out, perhaps. Oh. Let's put it back into place. All right. There's nothing for me to grab onto the sides here. That's not a very good extraction. Okay, but it looks to be clear. All right. That's not the way you would want to extract a card. We're just, that's more like you're suffering and you're trying to find some lucky way out. I'm sweating. Can't you do this later? You're sweating? All right, there we go. We're doing it right now in the middle of the stream. You have to deal with it. This isn't a good idea. Those tack slabs are very hard to crack. And that's not a good thing. I like being able to crack my cards out. All right, now, this will regrade with PSA. And we'll see much later if this grades 10. So you guys will be here to see the outcome. If PSA treats them nicer. This card's coming down. We're not selling that one. That card's going to be cracked as well because I believe that they've misgraded it. Okay. Let's see what else is. Hit refresh over here. I'm old and can't see the prices. Let me zoom in. Here's Carlos Chavez, 8 packs of Opus 1 and a box of Azure Lane. Whoa, Carlos, let's get it, man. Okay, there's a box of Azure Lane, and then let's get your OP1 right afterwards. Big order from Carlos tonight, guys. Let's find something to grade. Yeah, I agree. Starting out with the Booby Girl from the promo. Zoomed in is very good, but I prefer the zoomed out. I think zoomed in's better for actually shopping the slabs. Ready? All right. I want to cross like that mug and see if it grades 10 with like PSA. And if it does, it's going to be almost no profit because I wasted too much money grading it. Boop. All right. Toho, cat girl, meow. Oh no, you're looking at her and she doesn't want you to. Stop looking at my lewd body. Yeah. Oh. I notice when you have it zoomed out, like the camera doesn't keep focusing as much. That's good. It always goes blurry. Yeah, it does go blurry a lot, doesn't it? Darn camera, trying to always go blurry. Here's this. I'm definitely going to have to eventually buy a new camera. All right. Eventually. Friggin' cameras. I get paid soon. I want to make sure you have product beforehand. We got OP11. I think we have a case of OP10. I'm not sure. Here we are. We have limited cases of One Piece. Here we are. We blasted through that EB2, didn't we? Here we are. And here is this. Haha. Perfect. I think you missed a holo. Okay, let's go back. We don't want to miss any holos. Is it near the beginning? No, it didn't. Ta-da! Diddy is using AI to cover his ass. His ass? What are you talking about? Look at this. Haha. Lovely. She's just a girl swimming with the popsicle, by the way. And her boobs are huge. OP9, OP11, PBR1 if you have any. PBR1 Japanese. We don't have a sealed case of that. But we got PBR. I mean, we got everything you see on the menu. We've got that. But sealed case, that's a different question. I'm not sure what we have sealed cases on. Maybe one or two things. You want to open up a whole case of OP5 English? We got one of those. All right, so 8 packs of OP1. Or Opus 1, I should say. Oh, look at this. Camera in here. Very fun. Forgot that was in here. That was the one that Alexis was supposed to use. She was supposed to have her own setup downstairs. But I don't think she has enough time to do that. She mentioned she maybe doesn't have enough time to try encapsulating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like the swimmer girl. I like the swimmer girl. All right. Ready? Let's get the snips. Let's BGS the swimmer girl. Sure, you can do that. You can send her off to BGS. She could turn into a black label. You never know. Black label booby girl? You never know. Same here, these Final Fantasy cards. They're pretty clean. Lan. Okay, pack number 1 is Lan. Pack number 2. Bard. Bard. Dark Knight. Moogle's pretty cute. Here's Snow. Zach. Just sent in for it. Nice. All right, sounds good. Geomancer. Oh, do I see a good one? You got Sid Highwind. Cool. And there's Sephiroth. That Sephiroth is totally gradable. Check this out. So what you'd really like is for a holographic of this to show up. But this card alone, if this grades 10, this one's going to pay for most of the order. Pretty good. Doesn't make any sense. Nobody opens this. It's so affordable. Yep, that's a good Sephiroth card. Sephiroth from OP1 non-holo. You could pull a holo version of that. Did you know we added this to the menu like 5 years ago, this set? This set's been on the menu for 5 years. Every now and then we open some. But I feel like with the new people, with the latest people, you just... Like when we first added this, we opened tons of it. Tons of it. All these years later, nobody wants to open it. It's really interesting the way things work, you know? It's almost like you had to be there 5 years ago to feel the excitement. Okay, there it is. I opened a crap ton. Tammy, for example, opened a crap ton. A ton of crap, that is. All right, very nice. There's Mr. Carlos. He's going to have this swimming girl stay out, I'm sure. And she's going to go to BGS. All right, lovely. So lovely. Well, you're going to have a fat bag, Mr. Carlos. What's that we talking about? OP1. We added Final Fantasy to the menu a long time ago. I think back then the first set we added was technically OP5. It's like a pink box. Wait, this isn't 2 cards, right? Just one? Good. I pulled the Holo Sephiroth in my last order. Let's grade that Holo Sephiroth too. Yes. Yes, you can see there's 2 different artworks for Sephiroth. The non-holo version you pulled is the more desirable artwork. But the cartoonish artwork sells pretty good too. They both sell. There it is. Okay, very good. All right. Carlos, I got you on the table in the overflow a little bit. Oh, I wonder where a thim is. I feel like I haven't seen a thim in a little while. Carlos R. Chaveras. I remember back then, Carddass was selling a lot of Vivid Voltage. Vivid Voltage. Chaveras. Good. Okay. So, and these are going, what, to BGS? I remember when Mr. cut a SV49 Charizard in half. Oh, yeah. Who was it that did that officially? Does anyone remember who officially did that? Okay, so these are going to BGS. Yes. Good choice. Edgar. I can't remember his name, Alex. Can you remember? Oh, it was Ran. It was Ran, I remember. But I wish Ran hung out with us more. He doesn't hang out with us so much. Kind of makes me sad. You want to see something cool, Alex? I want to go grab it. Since we're having a Tuesday night, it's a slow night. Pretty typical for Tuesday. Alex, do you remember we used to have a donation folder? And you could donate a nice card to it, and I wouldn't accept any junk cards, only nice ones. That was a long time ago. I have a sip of my drink here. Oh, that's empty. Okay, well, I won't have a sip of my drink. So check this out. I can do this because we don't have the Ethernet cable plugged up. Look at this. There's Jonathan Morris. He's been around for a while. Tayef, Kara Nichols. Here's Kyle Doss. Nogala. So he donated the Ditto. Pokey Kobe. T. Leper. Gus Asp. C. Esman. He was Korean. Look at these dates. 421, 321, 321. Really a long time ago. God King Lunar. He was a moderator for a little while. Ryoma, James O'Brien. James O'Brien was a moderator. Kyle Johnson. Yeah, even moderators come and go. Here's Follow Chalk, Kyle Johnson, Egg, Elliot James, Juan Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Daniel Theo Lang, Ashton, Giovanni Bonaire, I remember him, Louis Rodriguez, Mary Kay, who's that? Ryan Pieta, Anthony Robert, OSM, Mario Alves, Corey DeShane, Michael Johnson, there's Cheese, Jack Gray. He still hangs out with us, doesn't he? John Lohman. I wish John Lohman would come back. He hasn't been around a while. Look, so we stopped accepting those around 2022, huh? 2021, 2021. They're all still there. I told you they'd be there, and they're all still there. What do you think? Should I let you guys add more? That'd be interesting. 4 years later, 5 years later, you're adding more. Pretty interesting. The rule was you could donate a card into the folder, and I'd leave it there. My promise was that I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't grade it. And then I just kind of stopped working on that. Like, I can't remember. There was something about it I didn't like. Like, I didn't like that I didn't have your real signature. And I didn't like that we didn't have a good system for measuring what a good card was or a rare card was. Yeah. Gus Esp donated a Glaceon EX from XY year, and I thought of it as like a junk card back then. Many of these cards weren't that expensive at the time. They are now. How strange. All right. C. Estman, his father was the CEO of a car company, and so he just had all this money to spend. He was just coming in and spending a ton of money, and he had that air about him like he didn't have a good sense of money, like the expensive things. I remember him. I wonder, he's older now. I wonder if he ever stops in and watches just quietly. Whoa. I wonder if anyone ever stops in and sees that we're still live. Okay. Good. Climbing back here. 2021, that was a long time ago. That feels like yesterday. Did you say my bag needed shipping? Wanted to know before I put another order in. No, your bag doesn't have to ship. You can ship whenever you feel like shipping. You don't have to ship right now. All right. So I'm ready for another order, and while you're thinking about that, why don't I grab something from over here? How could they have turned this into a 6? What could possibly be wrong with this that it needs to be a 6? Oh no, this is definitely a 6. There's a big line down here. What would have caused that? That doesn't even make sense to me. This had to have been them, right? Look. First of all, that wouldn't have escaped my attention. I would have seen a gigantic bend. But second of all, where would that have even come from? This card is not a used card. It came from the inside of a Poké deck, pre-constructed deck. And it almost seems like it would make a lot of sense if they had accidentally clipped it with this thing. So if it had accidentally gotten smushed on this little bar, that little line makes perfect sense then, doesn't it? I would not have submitted this with the giant line at the bottom. I don't know, suspicious, you know? Suspicious. Wonder how often they damage your card and then they just try to pass it on as like, oh, oops, your card was a 6 actually. Great the Cucumbers here. What happened to the Rayquaza guy? He bought tons of Hidden Fates. Yes, his name was Rayquaza, and then another Pokemon's name, wasn't it? He abandoned the whole thing. He abandoned the whole thing. To this day, he never contacted me again. Maybe he was sick of it. Maybe he was like, he didn't pull the SV49 clearly. And when you actually go through the pulls, many of them were just like, meh, you know what I mean? They're like Lycanroc or something like that, right? But he abandoned that whole bag, and eventually one day I just kind of tossed it into the Pokebuzz, and that was it. That was it, because he just left it all behind. Again, he didn't pull the card he wanted. He wanted Charizard. He didn't pull it. I bet you I disagree with however this card graded 9. So tag grading might not be the best company to send your vintage cards to. I don't know. It's tricky. Tricky. Ready? 9 on these. These are all from the pre-constructed deck. I wonder what they found that they didn't like. I got 9. The Duskull got an 8.5. And then the Dusk Noir has a suspicious line at the bottom that looks an awful lot like maybe somebody working there might have damaged it. Okay. Yeah, there's been definitely some card abandonment, especially from the first early years. There was some really expensive cards abandoned because in those early years, the cards really weren't that expensive yet. They were pretty cheap, all of them. You could get most of those cards pretty cheap, and that was normal. And then over time, the cards got really shockingly expensive, and everyone was like, oh my God, what happened? Like, no one can believe how expensive they got over time. Just like your PSA card that was smushed. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Look at it. It's a perfect line. It kind of doesn't... Have you guys ever seen a Pokemon card pack that comes out and it looks like that? I mean... I didn't do that. I wouldn't have sent it in if I'd seen that. I look over my cards before I send them in. I'd be surprised if I didn't notice a big line at the bottom. It's possible, I suppose, but... So you're telling me that happened during the manufacturing? All right, when's the last time you saw that on any card? A big line at the bottom? And a line that looks suspiciously like it could just be caused by this ridge right here. You never know. Dispute. You never know. You never know. This guy comes out of, I've got more of them. Comes out of a sealed deck. So, anyways, Duskull 9. Let's make him cheap. $15. This guy's going to be $7. So those are real cheap. And then this guy, I don't know. He's still cool. How about $15? All right. So there they are. Absolutely brutal grades. Turns out they switched it. I don't think they switched it. All right, I can see we are still out of orders. It is now 4:30 a.m. in the morning on a Tuesday. What do you think? We wrap up here? I'm watching this movie. It's called Insidious: The Red Door. I'm sorry. You guys listen to this music. I'm going to stand up, stretch, putting it in now. That's what she said. All right, you guys listen to the music. I'll be back in like a minute. All right. So, Insidious series was good. Insidious is great. Insidious is a good film. Grab this. Boom. Martin Ramirez says 1 Azure Lane. We can't have that, Martin Ramirez. We can't have that. Okay. Good. Here's a hollow. Whoa. Let's find more to grade. Yeah, I agree, dude. Throw that away, and Martin, you can have a bag over here. Carlos Chavarez. Ooh, he's going deep. He's a big customer. 7 packs of Opus 1, 3 boxes of Azure Lane. Ooh, I'm liking this. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we get a fresh box of Opus 1 and 3 boxes of the Azure Lane, huh? Running low on those. I wonder if I should restock them or wait for like the English version. All right. All right, and we got a box of this way over here. All right. Good. Can I keep one open pack sealed for my collection? Yeah, we can do that. No problem. All right, we'll set these here for a moment. Set these back over here. All right. Should be 7 Opus. Thought I saw 6. Don't worry, we'll count it. We'll count it back up. Make sure you get a full 7. Grabbing that. All right. There it goes. You got the girls. And you got the other girls. A lot of girls. Okay, good. Good. Tossing this away. And one more box. Oh, konnichiwa. Oh my god, bro. Ta-da. So I guess the Scarlet Violet era is over with this new black and white set we're getting eventually. What do you guys think of that? The end of an era. Ready? Oni-san konnichiwa. Mr. Is there a reason you don't go swimming every day? There's nowhere to swim where I live. You got the lake, but that's not warm yet. Well, actually, it's going to get warm pretty soon. It starts to get warm in June. I think it's pretty warm in June. And then there's public pools. There's exactly 1 public pool where I live for the whole area. 1 public pool, and it's tiny. It doesn't even get that deep. Like if I stand all the way up, it doesn't cover my shoulders at any point in the pool. So that would be why I don't swim more. I'd love to move to a place with a lot of swimming. I actually like swimming. I like the water and I like swimming. You don't go swimming with the gators? There's no gators out here. They don't exist. There we go. Gators? You mean swamp puppy? They just want a hug. There we go. All right. Boom. All right, Mr. Carlos. Grab this. The way this year started to the way it ended is one for the books. Yeah, it did not start well, that's for sure. Scarlet Violet packs came out. People didn't like the new gray borders. Yeah, like the new Pokemon, Miraidon, Koraidon. People were like, meh. There was like one good Gardevoir in the first set. The ARs made the boxes feel like there were too many hits in them. And it was hard to move them. It was hard to sell. We were selling plenty of the old packs, but not the new packs. All right. All right. Cold. Whoa. Holy Jesus, dude. Look at that. Holy mama. Oh my God. Okay. Just a usual casual cards kid set. Ugh. Okay. You can go to the gross land shark pool with the swim up bar. You know, a lot of places out here have swim bars where it's a public pool and connected to it is a bar. It's not just Margaritaville's land shark. There's several places like Dog Days. That's a big one. It's a larger, it's like this really large pool with a cool venue for like music, live music, and then it's just a really big bar, and it's full of people. It's full of really sexy people too. It's kind of interesting. We are people who you maybe think they're swingers or something. It's crazy. But anyways, so you climb in those pools, and all you can think is, how much pissing is everyone doing in this pool? There's no way you're not just swimming in a large latrine. Because if you're drinking a bunch of liquids and standing in a pool and you don't want to climb out of the pool to use the restrooms because it's cold and clammy and wet, you're just pissing in the pool then, for sure. So I don't swim in those. I don't swim in those bar pools. No way, dude. That's crazy talk. But just in general, though, public pools, I'm sure are just full of people's urine. South Park's always making fun of that, you know. South Park would make fun of that all the time. That an early episode, South Park, one of their early seasons, where Cartman's learning to swim, and he's in the kiddie pool, and they show the kids all pissing in the pool, and the pool turns yellow. But then they also had that major episode they made just a couple years ago, with like pee-pees or something like that. How about pooping in the pool? Well, you know, fecal matter, I'm sure. What do you want me to put for BGS payment in the notes? Does it matter? For BGS payment, just let me know which card. Yeah, just let me know which card, and that is BGS. My gym is $80 a month. No one really uses the pool, so I use it every day, carefree. Oh, that's nice, man. That's nice. I like that. We have two gyms out here. They're both tiny. They're tiny, small businesses, and neither of those would have a pool. It's really undeveloped out here. Lake of the Ozarks is heavily underdeveloped. It's growing, but it's underdeveloped. I just don't know if I want to stick around and wait for it to grow. Because you know what's interesting is while this place is growing, a lot of places are growing. You know, places are growing all over. The question is, where's everyone converging? What's the next Silicon Valley? You know, you hear about Austin, Texas a lot, so there's that. There's Florida. I feel like Florida's crossed off the list. They have too many hurricanes. You can't just constantly pay huge amounts of money for hurricane insurance on your cards and expect to make any money. So that state might work for other people, but it's really not going to work for me because of my card collection. All right, let's see. Code Brown required draining the pool. 50% pee, 50% water. I was a lifeguard, I know. Ugh. Code Brown, huh? All right. Okay, let's go ahead and grab these. There we are. No signatures so far, interestingly. Looking for some C's, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm heading to work. Thank you for letting us know. Here's a holo. Ooh. Okay, here's a holo, and here's a holo. Come on, still time for a Siggy. Oh my god. There's a holo. No. And ta-da! Oh my god, no Siggy at all. She's just a girl in a dress. Man, I'm sorry, man. Alright. Massachusetts doesn't get any hurricanes. I'm moving to Massachusetts. What do you even do in Massachusetts? Probably some Massachusetts type of crap. I'm from Massachusetts. Gobbity gobbity gook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one spare one that doesn't get open, correct. So then we got 6 left. Ooh, my arm's hurting. I'm from Massachusetts. Most of us don't even know Massachusetts. What's Massachusetts known for? Being full of mass and Massachusetts. Snipping this. States I never heard of before. State number 1, Iowa. State number 2, Nebraska. State number 3, Massachusetts. You go to Boston. I'm going to Boston. Here's the night. I am the night. Let's do it like this. No, that's fine. We also had whistle codes to communicate to guard without anyone knowing dumb things mostly. What, like hot girl over there or something? Oh my god. Nip slip and quadrant 3. Bro. This girl had the hottest tits. You missed her. Taxachusetts. Okay. Here's a little Arith. I don't know if Arith has any value. Terra. Okay. Look at that Terra. Have you guys ever asked ChatGPT to roast your state? Which state would you guys like ChatGPT to roast? This Squire, Terra, Yuffie, Golbez. Whistle 3 times for girl with white see-through shirt. Oh my god. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh my god, where's she? Bro, I can totally see the outline of her nipples. Here's McKee. Meanwhile, the internet's like full of completely nude, drop-dead gorgeous women all over the place. Okay, I'm going to do that one, Brucey. Hey, ChatGPT, can you roast people that sell Pokemon cards on YouTube Live? Let's see what it says. Welcome to Pokemon Live Sales, where the packs are overpriced, the pulls are mid, and every Charizard's definitely gradable, bro. These guys open packs like they're defusing bombs. Oh, it's a holo rare Butterfree. Relax, dude. It's worth 73 cents. Why do all Pokemon Live sellers sound like fake, failed auctioneers and hyped up used car dealers at the same time? They'll sell a reverse holo Pikachu for $10 and say it comps on eBay for $14.99. Yeah, if you only look at active listings and ignore the 600 that sold for $1. Every live stream, all right, guys, we got heavy packs pulled straight from my uncle's storage unit where they sat next to the motor oil. You're not a seller, you're a Pokemon preacher. Calm down with the fire energy equals fire pull theology. They hold the card to the webcam like it's the Holy Grail, then fumble it with fingers greasier than a Pizza Hut breadstick. How was that? Now the AI asks me, do you want a roast targeted at a specific behavior or a particular seller, like scammers, hype beasts, or cringe personalities? I can dial it up or dial it down. Wow, man. Man, Google is obsolete, dude. Google can't do that. Google is obsolete. They have to come up with their AI, and it better be better than this AI. Because I know they've got their AI. I can't remember the name of the Google AI. I had to download it. they're going to be obsolete so fast. Advertisement's going to be obsolete. You're never going to have to go to an ad again. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be monetized. It's going to be monetized somehow. Like ChatGPT, they limit how much like high level thinking the AI can do before it switches into the lower mode. And then they tell you, well, you can get a membership. And so that's very tempting, but I haven't done it. But yeah, I don't know how they're going to monetize their AI models, but that's way better than what we used to have. The world has changed, guys. The Google search bar was one of the most important things in our lives, and it is officially obsolete. It's all AI now. AI is it. It's the new search bar. Don't use Grok. It's being controlled by its owner. Elon. Simon and I know almost everything about 9/11. Google better come up with something good because AI is getting very smart over the next 5 years. Well, they have their own AI, don't they? Scam bots everywhere. Well, there was a AI that was being ran by Austria on Reddit, and it was an AI bot whose job was to research how good it could be at convincing people to change political parties. And it turned out, on average, the AI fake user was better at converting people in their beliefs than other users. You know, so if you're just a regular human, hard for you to convince people to join you. But AI is so good at thinking that it was easily able to convert more people over to a different style of thinking. So getting them to swap parties or something. Very fascinating. The future of, propaganda, the future of election interference or whatever, right? AI. Very fascinating. It's too smart. It's too good. It speaks too well. It's very logical. You know, it just covers all the bases. It knows all the subjects, covers all the bases. You're not going to have to think as much anymore. You're just going to have the AI think for you now. Pretty scary. It's a major change. Mr. I sent in for BGS on both Hot Girl SRs from Azura, Pool Girl, and Other Booby Girl. Probably easier to do that now. All right, let's get that real fast. All right, Pool Girl and Booby Girl. Let's see. Great choices, great choices. I approve. These are TCC approved grades. You can't break up with me. AI said we can work this out through logic and reasoning. Oh, great. You're telling me people are going to think less. Probably. Roast the state of Missouri. Here's a roast of Missouri. Missouri, where the weather has seasonal depression and the people proudly mispronounce their own state. It's Missouri, unless you're over 60, then it magically becomes Missouri, like that's a charm to summon tornadoes. You get all 4 seasons in 1 week, and 2 of them are just different flavors of humid misery. It's the show me state, because apparently you have to show them proof that science, progress, and dental care exists. Home of St. Louis, where the arch is a monument to everyone trying to escape into Illinois. Kansas City is in Missouri, because of course it is. Missouri looked at geography and said, nah, let's gaslight the country. They deep fry everything and call it cuisine. Toasted ravioli, that's just regret in breadcrumb coating. They think Branson is like Vegas. It's not. It's where entertainment goes to retire and work part-time at a souvenir shop. Missouri, where the state bird is the mosquito and the state flower is whatever grows in a Cracker Barrel parking lot. That's not bad. It's not bad. A couple of those. There we are. Although I can say almost, I don't think I've met anyone who calls Missouri Missouri. That's an old one. Here it is. Maybe find somebody who's like 80. I've talked to like 70 and 80-year-olds out here. They don't call it Missouri either. They say Missouri. Where are you looking at? Charleston or Myrtle Beach? Yeah, Charleston and Myrtle Beach are they're on the radar. We really like those two. So those are top choices. In particular, Charleston. And then, because Charleston has the whole city, so we want to have some things to do in a city. And then another option, we still really like Reno. Reno's pretty nice. There's a big difference between Charleston and Reno. So Charleston has the ocean, but Reno has no state taxes. How bad do we want that ocean? California is being considered. Huntington Beach, California is a possibility. So Huntington Beach, California could be chosen. Austin, Texas, we're not really as interested in it, but it should probably be considered. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's pretty close between Reno and Charleston. Reno, ... Choose the ghetto. Blah, Charleston is richer. Myrtle Beach is more ghetto and would die if tourism stopped. Come to Texas. Okay, Carlos, let's get your name down here. I'm moving to Austin, Texas. A lot of places are being considered. We'd really like to go to Wyoming. But when you look, it's so underdeveloped. It's exactly the thing we're leaving. We're leaving Lake of the Ozarks because it's so underdeveloped. There is a plus side to Wyoming. They have no state taxes. And they have very low property taxes. Okay. No, shipping to California. Mister, I wouldn't go to California at all. You should tell me why. You should tell me why not to go. Because I do a lot of research, and it's a pretty place. Pretty expensive place. It's also pretty crowded, but it's undoubtedly pretty with very strong weather. So the weather option in California is good, but you pay a tax. You don't live there for free. You pay a tax that's unbelievably high, and it's like the highest in the country. I think it beats Hawaii, doesn't it? So I don't know. Weather's great here. Come to California. You can go snowboarding. Reno's a short distance to Tahoe. Yeah, so Reno's very close to Tahoe. In that whole area, Reno and then the city beneath it, very close to Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe is very pretty. Cold water, though, but very pretty. And so I imagine you can go hiking quite a bit there. And after that, you just need, to be able to go to some pools. So I think, but you give up the beach, though. So you don't get to go walking on the beach. So walking in Lake Tahoe better make up for that, which I don't know if it does. It's snow and no taxes versus the beach. Wyoming's another middle of nowhere place. They have an area called Jackson Hole, or just Jackson, where all the billionaires and millionaires are converging to live with each other and have this little private area that's hard to penetrate, hard to get into. And it's a no state tax state. We could pool, I think, enough money to buy a tiny little home in Jackson and live right next to Yellowstone Park. It's really close. It's like a stone throw away from Yellowstone Park. So if we lived there, we'd be living with people that I would hope my kids have kids with. And then also we could go north and go visit Yellowstone whenever we wanted, presumably. So natural beauty, maybe skiing. Cold, though. Wyoming's quite cold. Did you guys know that? Wyoming's a cold state. Okay, here we are. But yeah, pretty underpopulated, probably extra expensive. It's tricky. I expect those houses might continue to rise in prices. If TCC moved to South Carolina, I could attend a meetup. If Mr. moved to Reno, Alex, you want a road trip? Wyoming is a herb state. The East Coast has more card shows. The East Coast. Oh, yeah, card shows. That's something I wasn't thinking about. Card shows. I wonder if Reno gets any card shows. Do you think Charleston gets any card shows? Card shows in Charleston. I like Charleston better than Myrtle Beach because Charleston's a proper city. And you can drive south and get to Savannah, Georgia as well. And they've got a proper city. And so there's a bit of fun that way. But the reason that we chose Charleston is because it's north of Florida and receives about 1/5 of the hurricanes, 1/5. The tax rate is very similar to Missouri, so I'd be paying maybe slightly more taxes, but not a whole lot different, but I would be gaining a beach. Missouri doesn't have a beach. It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Not just that, but Missouri gets really harsh tornadoes. We've been under 3 tornado watches in the last, 2 weeks. Here's David Moray's 2 Minecraft Hobby Pack. Here you go, Mr. David. All right, let's get this numbered chicken jockey and get you that roll into scored. All right. When I asked for shipping, did that include both my bags? Yes, when you ship, all your stuff gets shipped. That's right. Gaining a beach and gaining amenities. Charleston is dope. You are. Yeah, Charleston probably has a lot more places to go eating. They probably have more places to go swimming. I can live near the ocean and go walking by the ocean sometimes. So there's some advantages. disadvantages. I could have moved to a no tax state and saved significant amounts of money having no state income tax. I could also choose to move to a place where I believe that the houses will appreciate the very most. So if you're going to plant $1 million into a home, by the way, for those of you who really don't like California and you're hating on it a lot, I've been doing pretty much crazy amounts of research. And one of the things I've noted about California, even though the houses are very expensive and there's no affordable ones, if you want to live in a nice house in another state, those are just about as expensive as a California home anyways. So California homes, even though they do cost more, these other states are not that cheap. Real estate's really expensive pretty much everywhere. The only place you get a really good home is like in a state that virtually no one wants to move to. So you want to buy like a nice home in Iowa or Oklahoma or Arkansas, go for it. You can get a nice home in those places for very little money. But then you're in Oklahoma, then you're in Iowa. And people just don't talk about moving there very often. Here it is, Mr. David. All right. Did you look into Texas? Texas is one of the only states where neither Karis nor I seem to have a lot of excitement to move there. So we don't look into it very often. But one of the things we know about Texas is it's a no state tax state. However, they seem to have some sort of rule in some places where they do a tax on inventory, which is an absolute no for me. But the other problem is they have high property taxes. And so I don't know if I'm super excited to move to a state with high property taxes. Like, ironically, you pay more state taxes in Hawaii. You know, they just charge you more state taxes for your income. But they have one of the lowest state property taxes. So if you own a $1.5 million home in Hawaii and a $1.5 million home in Texas, even though Texas is still overall cheaper, it's closer than you think just because of the higher property taxes and how that plays into $1.5 million every year. It plays in a lot. And so it is cheaper in Texas, but it's not as cheap as you would like it to be. However, if you compare it to a place like Wyoming and Nevada, those places are definitely cheaper. And so that's why you look at it and you go, maybe Wyoming, maybe Nevada. But the Texas has one of the worst property taxes. You should watch this movie called State Property. I'm at the job site, but I showed up before everyone else, as always, so now I get to sit here for a little bit. I do that all the time. I come to work early. Basically, the moral of the story is just to move to California and find a nice neighborhood that you enjoy. Here's Carlos Chaveras. He says BGS Azure Lane. Thank you very much. Okay, and then we've got Martin Ramirez, One Azure Lane Volume 2, One Electric Breaker, Japanese. So you can like run tests on an AI app and ask them to compare like your income. Karis and I think what we can do is we can sell all of our homes in Lake of the Ozarks, roll all the money into one big down payment, and buy a house that's just around the $1.5 million range. So that's if we rolled all the money over, we can afford about that much of a home. We could go for a smaller home at about the $1 million range. 1 to 1.5 million is enough to buy a home in pretty much any state, including California. Let's grab the electric breaker. These properties that we bought them pretty cheap years ago, and they've all appreciated. But this one that we're living in currently, we did especially good, and we bought it under the market value by maybe 100,000 or 200,000. Very, very lucky. And so when we go to sell it, hopefully they sell for the prices we want them to sell for. We want the other house to sell for about 600,000. We bought it for 500, and we bought this house for 650, and we think it's worth about 900. And then we've got down payments in them. It's got equity in them. We got the third house, the small house, and that house has appreciated the most in terms of the fractional values. But we'll see how it actually plays out when it sells, because I doubt it. I don't think it'll earn that much more over what we paid for it. But there's this very high demand for small homes out here in Lake of the Ozarks because there's simply not enough of them, especially homes that are in nice neighborhoods, because there's not enough of that either. And so I have both of those things in the small home that I'll have for sale as well. So if we sell all three of these homes and roll it into a big chunk of money, and then we have our own savings, we roll that into a big chunk of money, I think we can afford a home in the $1 million range to $1.5 million range, which would be on the high end, which would mean we have a big mortgage that we have to pay. But it doesn't really matter because we already paid 3 mortgages. So it would feel about the same. It wouldn't feel very different. Here's Martin Ramirez. So, Martin, nothing too crazy here. So we intend to buy a nice house somewhere, and that's a big investment into that state. And so if you're paying a lot of taxes on a nice big property in Texas, and then you're not paying almost any taxes on a nice property in Hawaii, the equations get really tricky. You start to wonder, wait a second, which of these places is better to buy a big property in? And so, for example, on a house in Texas. In Texas, property taxes are among the highest in the entire country due to a lack of the state income tax. Average property tax rate is around 1.6 to 2.5, depending on the county, school district, and other local taxing authorities. So it gives us a couple comparisons, but it says here in Austin, you'll pay a $33,000 tax on your property. Can you believe that? That would not only would that negate all the money that I would save moving from Missouri to Austin, Texas, it would be higher. I would actually be paying more money to live in Texas than to live over here in Missouri, where the property taxes are lower. So it just doesn't make any sense. And so people talk about Texas really well. Yes, if we buy a very small home, or if we rent it, well, and then again, in the rent, that property tax will show up somehow. But, because the landlord will pass that cost off to you. But if we were to move over there and buy a very small home, it could still work. It would still be a low income tax state. It would be a no income tax state. And we would pay, less money on the property. And we could take, because we would have less property tax on a small home, a small cheap home. We could take the leftover money and put it in the stock market or put it into more cards. So that's the whole strategy, is buy a small home in Texas and just put everything else into the stock market. But yeah, that's vicious, dude. And personally, because she works from home and I work from home, we prefer to have a larger home, because my stuff takes up like 3 rooms. Just 3 rooms of the house are eaten up by my work. And then she needs a room for her office too. So most of the house is just offices. Anyways, how's the housing market there? Could you realistically sell those 3 houses in less than 3 to 6 months? Lake of the Ozarks, not bad. Yeah, Lake of the Ozarks, there's very heavy demand for high quality lake houses. And so I've got 2 lake houses, and I think they would sell. Yeah, I think it would be decent. All right. I don't know. I haven't sold anything like that before. So we'll find out. Next up, we have our friend Zachary Stekskowski. He says, Box of Azure Lane. You got it, Mr. Zach. All right, Zach. Here we are. So anyways, that's what it's looking like. I'm looking to buy a house maybe in the $1 million range in another state. And it probably won't be Texas. The personality of Texas doesn't necessarily excite us in any particular way. But the taxes on the property is a big no-no. And that's why when you move, you're looking for total tax burden, not just no state income tax. And when you do an analysis of that, a couple states stand out, just a couple of them. Not Seattle, not New Hampshire, Alaska's pretty good, actually. Alaska's good, except they have a difficult cost of living, and they have a bunch of bad weather. So you got a couple places. Wyoming, total tax burden down. South Dakota, total tax burden down. But those places aren't as exciting to live. Then you have Nevada with the casinos and all the tourism. They pay for their state needs through tourism and gambling taxes. And so somehow Nevada has no state income taxes, and they've got low property taxes. Very fascinating. So maybe a house right next to Lake Tahoe, and be able to go enjoy the Sierra Mountains and Lake Tahoe. That's very tempting. A financial move, maybe with some decent nature and more amenities. There's Las Vegas. They get the 120-degree heat. So that's the problem with Las Vegas. I was doing a bunch of research. They have a slightly cooler area in Las Vegas called Summerlin, because the elevation's a bit higher over there. They're about 3 to 5 degrees cooler in the summer. So if they hit 120 degrees, Summerlin will be about 115, hopefully. When you really think about it, that's still really hot. And then when I researched the houses in Summerlin, they're the most expensive houses in Las Vegas are all in Summerlin. So it's obvious everyone else figured this out too, and they said, well, that's where I'm buying a home. I'm buying a home on the higher elevation to get that 5 degrees cooler in the summer, that reduction in the horrible, horrible, horrible heat. Holy moly, Mr. Zach, look at this. Holy hoochie mommies. All right, look at this. Waifu's selling good tonight. Oh, yeah, even from the start of the stream, man. My God. The hottest week, it is 105 maybe, and I'm ready to die then. Yeah. So Reno gets to be about 105 degrees, actually. Reno will be, and Missouri is similar to that. Missouri is very similar to that. So Reno's weather looks similar to Missouri, but with less humidity. Missouri is humid. We get really humid, especially when you live right next to the lake, when you live feet away from the lake. Plenty of mosquitoes, too. Not a big fan of all the mosquitoes. But so it's a fascinating thing because it's you're looking at multiple complex variables when you're trying to move, like happiness. Where will I feel most like myself? Where will I feel happiest? Health. Did you know that California, Hawaii are some of the very highest ranked places to go for long life? People live longer in California. How do you put a price on that? So how many of you guys knew about that one? You live longer in California, you live longer in Hawaii. How do you put a price tag on that? I think most of the happiest places on Earth were actually ranked right in California, although Reno's on the list. Reno has made that list. Happiest places to live on Earth in the United States. And financially, there's crime. Crime's another thing. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to choose just the right place. Oh, look at that, Mr. Zach, right at the end. Oh, very lucky. I thought you were out of luck. No, he was not. They live longer in California because the traffic there moves at 2 to 5 miles per hour due to how bad the roads are. Well, I presume the reason they really live longer out there is because they probably have a culture of going out more, maybe being a bit thinner, because, obesity is pretty bad. Maybe it's easier to be skinny in an area where everyone's skinny, or maybe it's like, maybe you're skinnier if you have more places to go walking, more outdoor activities. It's hard to say. I don't know. So maybe the weather is playing a role because we know California has very good weather. But California and Hawaii have some of the longest lifespans in America. I think New Jersey ranks high on that too, doesn't it? I can't remember. Oh, hold on, not this. All right. But, so California does have downsides, though, and you hear people complain about it all the time. The pressure to be able to pay for everything, just the cost of existing there. Crime. You have people who can't make it, and so what do? They commit crime. And maybe the justice system in California doesn't punish them very hard for that. Homelessness, drugs, So they've got these persistent problems that kind of are part of living over there, I suppose. It's too bad. But for me, one of the biggest downsides is definitely the taxes. The taxes makes very little sense for me. Then again, there's all those expensive homes out there. So somebody's out there paying those taxes. And they're fine with it. I don't know. So they go, I'm not moving. It's really tricky, isn't it? It's tricky. Let's see. Which states do people live the longest? Hawaii is at the top, by the way. Did you know that? Very tempting to move to Hawaii when you learn that kind of information. Here it is. Number 1 is Hawaii at 81 years. Very similar to Japan almost. And California, 81 years. There's a difference of 0.3 between them. After that, it's Minnesota. Strange. Washington State. Very nice. Massachusetts, New York, Colorado, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. All northern states, except for Hawaii. Yep. Shortest lifespan, you ready? Mississippi, West Virginia, Louisiana. And those would be sort of like the poor reddish states almost, although I think Louisiana's a blue one, isn't it? And it makes me think of, I've grown up here in Missouri, and you do sort of see it. There's just, sort of like a lower expectation for you to be excellent. Like if you walked around and you were horribly obese, nobody's going to really judge you for it. And if you're laying in your car eating scoops of sugar out of a bag of sugar and smoking a cigarette, that's it. That's just how it is. And I bet you that's exactly how it is in areas where the life expectancy is going to be shorter. Everyone's just sort of dialed it in. They've sort of given up. They're like, whatever, I'm not here to impress anybody. You know what I mean? So perhaps maybe if you live in a place where everyone's expecting you to be impressive or like be harder working or something like that, maybe it concentrate a number of people who are, I don't know, higher achievers. I don't know what it could be. Maybe it really is just the access to healthcare. Maybe it really is just the access to different types of food, stricter rules around food. Who knows? Let's see. I've seen some say in the description that they have a security sticker instead of shrink wrap. Oh. California is so expensive, it costs more to be dead than alive. Coffins are like $20,000. You need to come visit Alaska. I never buy from those sellers. Best to stay safe. Well, guys, it's 5:11 a.m. in the morning. I think we go ahead and give away this last spot on the poker card. Are you ready for it? Ho-ho. Karis and I spent most of today just talking about where to move. Jay Sharp got spot number 20. All right. Congratulations. You opened up Korean electric breaker instead of Japanese. We're going to correct that. Thank you for noticing. I didn't even notice. My bad, dude. We're going to correct that. Okay. Landing on 19. And that's Joey Albrecht. Wow. Joseph Albrecht got the poker quillfish. That's so cool. Check it out. Lovely card. Doesn't that look cool? All right. It's got that charm that Charizard, Gengar, Umbreon, Lugia don't have because everyone gets that Pokemon, It's just one of those underappreciated Pokemon. Okay. He got that for free just for hanging out. We're going to have another freebie. We're going to pick one and hand it out as well, okay? But we'll probably start that tomorrow. And let's get that electric breaker Japanese, shall we? All right, so here's electric breaker Japanese. And we're going to correct this for our friend, Martin Ramirez. All right. You're sure I got the Korean one? Okay, I probably did. Crazy. Who won? It was Joseph Albrecht. It rolled 19, and he was on spot number 19. Works just like that. All right, here we are. We've got our cold round. All right, I'm sorry, man. Cold round of the electric breaker, Mr. Martin. All right. Moving to paradise, guys. It's not possible. Where will you find paradise? Probably nowheres. Grass is always greener. There's always something to complain about. Maybe my best move is to just stay right here in Lake of the Ozarks. You never know. Maybe you stay here, you just buy the next house and the next house and the next house. And soon enough, you own 5 properties, rent them all out, and then just keep paying those mortgages until one day the properties are just making you money. I don't know. No, I don't want to do that. I want to move to a place that's more prestigious than where I'm living. I feel like my success has earned me the right to get out of here, basically. It was a mistake for my parents to have left California. I was born in California, in San Diego, and they moved back here because this is where their extended family was. And they should have just stayed in San Diego and bought a home, and they would be very wealthy if they'd just done that one thing. But they didn't do it. So, that's how it turned out. Very sad. Now I'm trying to decide what is the next place to have the most house appreciation over time. That's a very important part of the calculation. So you have the tax calculation, but you also have the appreciation calculation. Maybe Reno does very good. Maybe they appreciate rapidly compared to Charleston. But who here could pinpoint which state is going to have the most home value price appreciation in 2025 and for the next 5 years as well? If any of you guys could do that, you could be wealthy. All you'd have to do is buy a home and you'd become wealthy. So, but nobody can really do this. It's not that easy. You can just look at market trends and make a guess. Like, for example, the cell phone, it guesses that it'll be Florida. It says Florida probably, because of all the migration into Florida already. But as prices are driven up, people slow down. And then a big hurricane comes and people go, yuck, I don't want to get hit by a hurricane. So, you can make a prediction that maybe that slows down, that trend reverses. Maybe Utah. Utah's done very well. Kyle Summers wants a Pokey Shuffle. I'll get that for you real fast, Kyle Summers. All right, let's see. Mr. Kyle Summers, 1 Pokey Shuffle. So tomorrow, guys, I hope to see you there. I don't know if anything crazy is coming in the mail. I haven't ordered anything in a while. I think it's time to sit down and try to order some new cards. Cold. Got to make sure we get that OP12. I will contact that guy, make sure he gets me my OP12, and we'll keep an eye out on any other interesting sets that are coming out. So Destined Rivals, of course, has already been ordered. We're just kind of waiting for that one. We got this Destined Rivals break up to 5. Maybe Ghost from the Past? Oh, yeah, Ghost from the Past. We're waiting for that to arrive as well. Ghost from the Past. Yeah, so that might arrive tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And we still got a lot of slabs to price. We got a lot coming. We got a PSA submission on its way back. So that'll arrive probably next week. But so that'll do us for that. And there's just a ton of slabs left. And we got a lot of people requesting that I do more commission slabs. So we're probably going to be hosting lots and lots more commission slabs over time, okay? You guys have a really nice night. This was the Tuesday stream. I'll be back on for the Wednesday stream. And presumably, I'm going to be hosting a Wednesday video game stream on the TheCardconomist. I missed it 2 weeks in a row. Always had something pop up that day, so it's been really tough. All right, see you later, guys.